Peace, peace, peace and blessings. We live. Campaign Live Thursday, February 20th. Almost end of Black History Month, Black Mystery Month. Y'all see the title. Somebody brought this to my attention earlier today. I definitely want to give you the credit. I got a very poor short-term memory. But hopefully if they get in the chat tonight, I can give them their credit. But this is my live reaction against something that somebody brought to my attention, like I said earlier today, where I guess a few days ago, Lord Jamar was making some commentary regarding what past debate or whatever he'd been getting into with the Professor Dave, the white dude that's arguing about flat Earth versus round Earth or whatever. But at the end of this particular live, he said some stuff that that's out of line, out of bounds. So he said it publicly, so I gotta address it publicly. And that's just what we gonna do. I'm gonna wait for about 30 or 40 seconds. And then we're gonna get into it. Fair use, as you can see. Hopefully, you know, my bro won't get in his feelings and you know, community, whatever, not strike, but copyright the content. But it's gonna be done. It has to be done. Safi Ali, peace. Ahmad Jabril, Wrench Mob Gods, God Mods, J5. Excuse me. Clear Vision Media, salute. Divine Judger, salute. Ayo. All right. Wrench Mob Gods, Nate the Greatest, salute. Ed in Houston, H-Town. And I got the God Mod, Adrian X. We about to get it on. Lo-fi. Yeah, we getting it. About to get at it. It's all peace. It's all peace or it's war. It's all peace or it's war, whatever you want. So yeah, let's get into this real quick. This is Lord Jamar Fair Use, something that I don't know if it was a few days ago. I didn't check the date, but I'll get into it. You see, I added tag Lord Jamar, so definitely welcome to hop on the live with me. Let me put this in the chat right away in the beginning. Let me put this StreamYard link. Spin that back. Salute. Wali 100. Salute. Man. Happy Savior's Day to all the Muslims. And we're going to get into all that also. So let's go.
I am not off the flat earth shit. Just because of the dumb shit that happened that day. Again, I was off my square. Now that's my cross to bear for now. But that changes nothing. We still don't live on a spinning ball. Nothing was proved that day other than, you know, I didn't memorize certain technical terms, scientific terms. No debate was lost. No debate even really happened. So, yeah. Because listen, if y'all can prove to me that we're on a spinning ball, hey, I'll go with it. I'm not married to this shit. But all signs show that they're lying. And I just want to say, right, to a lot of these brothers in the 5% nation, the nation of gods and earths and all of that, you know, it's ironic that we are supposed to be the ones in the small minority that have the truth. That we're not necessarily supposed to be the ones agreeing with the 85s because we're supposed to know better. And the fact that many 5%ers are damn near like 85s when it comes to this. And I'm gonna say many, because not all, because there's many that actually do know the science. It's just funny. And now what's even funnier, right, is I see people, it's like history repeating itself. The same way They wanted to get rid of the Father Allah from the Nation of Islam. Oh yeah, they want to get rid of me from the Nation of Gods and Earths. Same way they wanted to get rid of Malcolm when he said things. Yeah, they want to do the same to me. It's very, very ironic. And we applaud the Father for standing up and, thinking for himself and going against the grain inside the Nation of Islam, Yet a lot of these brothers are turning into the same thing that they thought was bad. It's very interesting. But again, I love no, it's not about believe the knowledge. It's a
fair use. Just gotta break in here for a second. Let's keep listening.
About I'm actually showing that I do believe the knowledge, sir. I'm actually showing that I love the lesson so much that I want them to be 100% right and exact.
So I'm gonna come back. It's about a minute, 2 minutes left.
That we're all
about 2 minutes left. Then I'm gonna come back and react to all of it. But I just wanted to play it all the way through for y'all that's coming in. So we listen to the rest of this, and we're gonna go back and react to it.
All wise, and that we know, that we know certain things. So if we are all wise, and if we say things like acronyms for peace or proper education, Allah corrects error, right? We don't just leave error, we'll correct an error. We'll acknowledge that there was an error and correct it. That's what a true 5%er does. That's what I was taught to do. I was taught not to take anything on face value. Is that not what you were taught? So we should take nothing on face value, including the lessons. And unfortunately, sometimes we get caught up in dogma as opposed to actual knowledge. We talk about trick knowledge in the lessons, but nobody knows exactly. Nobody can tell you exactly what that trick knowledge is, right? You just know that trick knowledge exists, but what is the trick knowledge? So yeah, that's right, everybody. Just do your own research and stop thinking that, you know it all.
So yeah, that's it. I know y'all got a lot to say for those that are Muslims or 5%ers or NOI. I know I had a lot to say, and I'm going to say a little bit. I'm not going to say a whole lot. I really want to say it to or with Lord Jamar. And I'm definitely going to use this as an invite for us to get on the live and talk it out, because this is really regarding whatever his issue is with flat Earth or the flat earthers or the Professor Dave or whoever, or Godfrey or Dante, Nero, the people that he got an issue with. Unfortunately for my brother though, however, you mentioning our name. You mentioned that's what so many of us mess up at. If you got an issue, if you got a whatever, use your own name, stand on your own name, stand on your own whatever it is. But you mention our name, you mention the NOI, the nation, you mention the lessons, you mention any of that, especially publicly, and you mention it in a negative light, or you mention it with some evil suggestion or some erroneous suggestion, as then you got to get dealt with. So this is what we're doing. So Lord Jamar, you definitely got an invite to hop on the live with me, or we could do a whole separate live about this subject, because it's not about, I don't care about the flat earth. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but like I said, once you speak on this, then we gonna have to holler. So let's go back through this, shall we?
I am not off the flat earth shit. Just because of the dumb shit that happened that day.
He talking about, getting into an argument or, losing his cool or cussing out the Professor Dave dude regarding the flat earth argument on Godfrey's podcast.
Again, I was off my square. Now that's my cross to bear for now.
Said he was off his square. So I put that up, Supreme Wisdom Lessons by Master Fard Muhammad for registered Muslims only. So if your square has anything to do with this information in these lessons for registered Muslims only, then you was never on that particular square.
But that changes nothing. We still don't live on a spinning ball.
So he's claiming to be 5%er, but he said that changes nothing. We still don't live on an effing spinning ball, meaning the earth, meaning the planets. So according to the actual facts, this is, according to basically every qualified and scientists, they all agree, in your own eyes will all agree that the heavenly bodies, the planets, the sun, the moon, all are spherical. You don't see nothing flat out there, do you? But the actual facts that he claimed to believe in, the lessons say the total area, well, actually, I ain't gonna go into that. It says the circumference of the planet Earth is 24,896 miles, and the diameter. So just the fact there's a circumference and a diameter, he's saying that that's incorrect. So you don't even believe in that. Let's continue.
Nothing was proved that day other than, I didn't memorize certain technical terms, scientific terms.
He said nothing was proved other than the fact that he hadn't memorized certain technical or scientific terms. That's proof in itself that you're ignorant, because if you knew what those scientific terms meant, they have definitions. They're not just terms. They're just not memorizing words. They actually have definitions. So if you knew the words, you would know the definition, and you would know the science and the science proofs that's attached to those words and those definitions.
No debate was lost. No debate even really happened. So, yeah. Because listen, if y'all can prove to me that we're on a spinning ball.
If y'all can prove to me, right? Prove to me. Now, keep in mind all of this proof requirements that he's saying at the beginning of this, because we're going to double back by the end of this, and we're going to use that same standard for the rest of what he had to say. But we have to prove to him. I don't understand. I'm not exactly sure what quality of what type of proofs or experiments that we have to give to him. If y'all been following that, maybe y'all know better than I do, but we have to prove it to him.
Hey, I'll go with it. I'm not married to this.
But you are married to it. You're absolutely married to it if you publicly espousing it, to the rebellion of your own claims. If you claim a certain body of knowledge or a certain organization of gods and earths or whatever that is, that you absolutely espouse, you're absolutely married to that, because that's what you declare. Marriage is just something that a lifestyle that you live, that you declare it publicly. So you're absolutely married to this belief.
All signs show. I'll go with it. I'm not married to this, but all signs show.
All signs show. Okay, we're supposed to speak perfect tense, right and exact. That's a bold-faced lie. All signs show what? Let's see. All signs show. All, not some, not the most of that you ever seen, or you saying all?
That they're lying.
All signs show that they're lying. So they, meaning anybody that's promoting or professing a spherical earth. So of course you claim the lessons. So the reason why I posted those three men up in those lessons is because you brought them up in your argument. So all means them first. These three men, the writer, the author of these lessons that you got, you saying him first is lying.
All signs show that they're lying. And I just want to say, right, to a lot of
all signs show that the actual facts are lies, or at least two of them or three of them. The one that says the circumference and the diameter, and the one that says the earth travels or spins at the rate of 1,037 and a third miles per hour. So these three men are liars. We're liars. And, you know, I guess all of the physicists and the astrophysicists and the aerospace engineers and the, you know, all the rest of the scientists that actually have built something that we use every day, they're all lying. But I'm not concerned about them. I'm only concerned about these three men right here.
And I just want to say, right, to a lot of these brothers in the 5% nation, the nation of gods and earths and all of that, you know, it's ironic that we are supposed to be the ones in the small minority that have the truth, that we don't necessarily, we're not.
And exactly who gave you that truth? Exactly who is the author of this particular truth in the 5% minority? Because 5%, matter of fact, let me find exactly what, if I may. Let me see. Is this it? No, that's not it. There it is. And I'm not even really supposed to be playing, you know, showing too much of this, but this just shows the definitions. Who is the 5%? Who is the 10%? And who is the 85%? So the 5%, they are the poor righteous teachers who do not believe, using the word believe, they do not believe in the teachings of the 10% and are all wise and know who the living God is and teach that the living God is the Son of Man, the supreme being, the black man of Asia, and teach freedom, justice, and equality to all the human family of the planet Earth, otherwise known as civilized people, also Muslim and Muslim sons. The 85% is uncivilized people, uncivilized, poison animal eaters, slaves from mental death and power, people who do not know the living God or their origin in the world, in this world, and they worship that they know not what, who are easily led in the wrong direction but hard to lead in the right direction. And the 10% that we're talking about are the rich slave makers of the poor, the wickedly wise, who teach the poor lies to believe that the almighty, true and living God is a spook or a ghost and cannot be seen by the physical eye, otherwise known as the bloodsucker of the poor. But notice it don't say nothing about the measurements or whether, you know, we supposed to, you know, not believe in the actual facts or not. You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, let's keep listening.
It's necessarily be supposed to be the ones agreeing with the 85s.
So he said, we're not necessarily, as 5%ers, we're not necessarily supposed to be the ones agreeing with the 85. But if you've seen his debates, he got cavies. He's agreeing with the 10%. He's agreeing with this even smaller percentage of non-scientific, so-called scientists that have built nothing, have no accomplishments whatsoever in the areas of science, and they're cavies. They're cavies. And you're agreeing with them because apparently or allegedly they have shown you proof to where you would jump off the porch publicly on the public platform and say that these three men right here, or these two, including Farrakhan, are liars. They're lying. But your little handful of KV buddies that, you know, you get on there on the live with, you agreeing with them. So let's continue.
Because we're supposed to know better. And the fact that many 5%ers are damn near like 85s when it comes to this.
5% are damn near like 85s when it comes to this. 85 again means 85 means, my bad. Uncivilized. We're down there like uncivilized poison animal eaters, slaves from mental death and power. And we don't know the living God or origin in the world. And we worship what we know not. And we easily led in the wrong direction, but hard to lead in the right direction because we won't believe that the earth is flat. We like 85s. He's talking about, members of his organization called the 5%, Allah's 5% nation. So them along with us, we're the liars, you know what I'm saying? Because we're the one that put these lessons together, Master Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad. So they're liars, but I guess allegedly the 5%ers that believe in that, you know what I'm saying? Because it don't say that you're supposed to prove that, because clearly the Savior knew we didn't have the instruments to measure the earth according to the lessons, which is supposed to be proof that all of the scriptures and the former prophets, this is the proof of the manifestation of that. So if Jesus is supposed to be that, or the Son of Man is supposed to be Jesus, and the Bible says that he measured the earth and he measured the heavens and all of that, and then he's telling us that all these measurements are absolutely correct, fact for fact and figure for figure. So he's supposed to prove it to you and me, or is that why we're called believers? That's why we're called believers in Muslims, because we submit based on what we see he did produce that was all true. You ain't been able to prove no other parts of his teaching false, but then you'll jump off the porch and say that part is false, and you're going to agree with 2 or 3 pseudo-scientific cavies that ain't accomplished absolutely nothing, and then accuse your own nation of being 85% like. That's crazy work right there. But let's continue.
And I'm gonna say many, because not all, because there's many that actually do know the science. It's just funny. And now what's even funnier, right, is I see people, it's like history repeating itself. The same way.
This is where you finna really slipping on a banana peel right here. This is what made me even do this video.
They wanted to get rid of the Father Allah from the. They wanted to get rid of the Father Allah from the.
My bad. I keep on. You saying they? Who is they? They wanted to get rid of the Father Allah from the Nation of Islam. That's a crazy sentence right there. That's a crazy sentence right there. That's crazy. Let me play that sentence all the way through.
History repeating itself. The same way they wanted to get rid of the Father Allah from the Nation of Islam.
Wow. If we really just break that sentence down word for word and take the meaning of each one of those words and what you suggesting, that is crazy. They, who is they? Of course, you meaning the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam wanted to get rid of the Father. The Father. What is you the father of? If you're Clarence 13X, what are you the father of? Who are you the father of? Right? You're not the father of the lessons. You're not the father of the nation. Not the father of the FOI. Not the father of the X.
History repeating itself. The same way they wanted to get rid of the Father Allah from the Nation of Islam.
And what does get rid of mean? We're not the ones that took his life, right? What does get rid of? If you are a 5%er, aren't you supposed to speak perfect tense English, right? You must speak well. You can't be reckless and careless and loose, with your language, especially on subjects like this. Get rid of. Who wanted to get rid of who?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to get rid of me from the nation of gods and earths. Same way they wanted to get rid of Malcolm.
Same way they wanted, who is they? The Nation of Islam. They wanted to get rid of Malcolm. Wow. So we at that point. I've been telling y'all about what time it is and how grace is up, grace is over, and it's the manifestation of flaws and defects, manifestation of goats versus sheep, the season of reaper season, the harvest season. They wanted to get rid of Malcolm. Who is they? And who got rid of Malcolm?
When he said things,
because he said things what?
Yeah,
they
want to do the same to me.
No, you should have said he said things like what? Because he said what? Did he say truth? Did he say some supreme wisdom, or did he say some slanderous lies like you saying? What did he say? So, and this is for anybody to hop on. This is an invite for Lord Jamar. You can definitely tag my bro, because I tagged him so he could see this. But for anybody that's watching, there's the StreamYard link. But until somebody hop on here with me, you know what I'm saying, we're going to keep going through this.
It's very, very ironic. And we applaud the Father.
So he's saying he's speaking for his community, which is the 5% nation. He's saying that we in the 5% nation applaud who he calls the Father, Allah. You would, we didn't even call Master Fard Muhammad that, or Elijah Muhammad that. You know what I'm saying? Not until, matter of fact, let me show you something. This is part of the instructions to the laborers that's in the lessons for registered Muslim only lessons. It says, according to the Holy Quran 59:7, the Muslims were very poor when they first started to teach Islam, and all contribution was given to Allah's apostle for him and his family's support. And what the apostle could spare, he gave to help take care of the poor Muslims that were unable to help themselves. And the other part was given to those who were confined to the labor of Islam. And soon there arose an argument among the hypocrites about the use of the money, because they thought that they should share equal with the apostle. Then Allah cast these hypocrites out and punished them for their false accusation that they spread against the prophet. Oh man, let me see. Oh no, that's the wrong one. My bad. Pardon me. Let me show y'all. Dang. Pardon me. I have to actually go here. Pardon me.
Nation of gods and earth. Rid of the same. It's very,
man, my bad.
They thought it's
I'm trying to get to. There we go. There we go. This is, we in the NOI, we are believers, and we call Muslims. The lessons say that, this is the title of Muslim given to us by our Savior, right? But I'm just read some excerpts from that. It says the following, this is the very beginning of the lessons. The following is the original rules of instruction given to the laborers of Islam, and the title of Muslim. The 5%ers say we not Muslims, we gods, but they're using these lessons to say that. So that didn't come from the author of these lessons. That interpretation or that claim did not come from the author of these lessons. That came from Clarence 13X, whom they refer to as the Father Allah. The following is the original rules of instruction to the laborers of Islam, and the title of Muslim given to us by our Savior before his departure. This is talking about one individual man, W.D. Fard, our Savior, right? And the question further down in the lessons asks, why should the lost found disbelieve? No, they shouldn't disbelieve. They should believe. They should be believers. Certain things you cannot know because you ain't qualified, or you don't have the equipment. You don't have the rank, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding at this point. So you have to believe based on what I show you, what I prove to you, and you submit until understanding comes. So why, based on what I've shown you and what I've raised up and proven that the scriptures was this and that the original man is this, and proven the stuff that you can comprehend, based on what I've proven, why should you disbelieve or dispute with one another about our Savior, the one that just departed in 1935? Why should we disbelieve and dispute with one another about him, Allah, W.D. Fard, and his work of delivering, and dispute with him about these lessons that he gave us to study? Why are we disputing with each other about that, about him and about what he gave us to study in these lessons? Cannot a fool see that a mighty change is in progress in every living creature? Right? And then if you go down further at the bottom, this is just an example out of the problem book. Problem number 24 talks about Platoon, or the planet Pluto, the farthest planet out there that these scientists disagree. They say it's not even a planet status, but according to Master Father Muhammad, he says that the planet Pluto is one of the largest planets in the solar system. Even though it's the furthest away, it's the largest, or one of the largest, if I'm not mistaken. But it's 4,600,000,000 miles from the sun, and she travels the same rate, or spins the same rate of spin around the sun as the rest of the planets, which is 1,037 in the third spin. And I forgot what the rate of the other speed, 67 or 66 or 67,000 miles per hour. It takes her, the planet Pluto or Platoon, 345 years to make one complete circle around the sun. So 1 year to the planet Pluto or Platoon is 345 of our Earth years, and her diameter is 67,000 miles. So the question is, find the square mileage and the number of miles she travels in 345 years. But the last thing right here says, all of these are absolute facts, and they stand true, figure for figure, by the study of the Son of Man, and not a spook, W.D. Fard. That's our Savior. So we are absolutely required to believe in him and take his word on face value because of what he already proved by raising us up to this point. Certain things he can't. He gonna fly 50 million of us to the planet Platoon and show us. We believe that he's the builder and architect of the big mother plane, mother wheel, Ezekiel's wheel, UFOs, all these UFOs. Yeah, he can take him and his chosen angels that's qualified, that's at that rank of knowledge and self-mastery that we call angels, but they're human beings. Yeah, they can witness those type of things, but we not. He showed us what we supposed to witness, and what, based on what he showed us and what he did for us, then we have to believe that the rest of what he's teaching us is true. What's wrong with believing him as opposed to believing 2 or 3 or 4 KVs that claim to be scientists, but that ain't nothing but rebellious devils that ain't proved nothing? They haven't proved nothing to you. Why would you believe their word on face value with no proof versus the face value of the God that he did say? He didn't say that you ain't supposed to believe nothing on face value. No, you're supposed to believe him on face value. You absolutely supposed to believe him and the apostle, the Messiah, the messenger of God on face value, because it's not face value. He'd already proved by raising you from the dead what his value is, what his face value is.
Because we say that we're all wise and that we know, that we know certain things. So if we are all wise, and if we say things like acronyms for peace or proper education, Allah corrects error.
So when he's saying we say that, he's talking about Clarence 13X's students. We don't say nothing like that in the nation, in the lessons, in the FOI or the MGT. We don't say none of that.
Right? We don't just leave error. We'll correct an error. We'll acknowledge that there was an error and correct it. That's what a true 5%er does. That's what.
Okay, a true 5%er. So if you use the word 5%er and you saying what a true one is, wouldn't that be determined by that? A true 5%er would be defined by the author of the term, the author of the revelation that is even 5% of the population that fit that category. You didn't know none of this. Why would you hand pick? Why would you take this on face value, but you wouldn't take that on face value? If there's 8 billion people on the planet, have you seen them all? Have you met them all? How do you know that it's actually 85%? How do you know it's only 5%? How do you know that? Just as much as you know that the 3 white boys, little cave boys that told you the earth was flat.
I was taught not to take anything on face value.
So who taught you that? Because the lessons don't say that. The lessons don't say don't take anything on face value. The lessons say, that's what I was showing. Hold on one second. It says that he believes in the 10% on face. There you go. Is that what it say somewhere there? I thought I had it on here, but it says the lesson says they believe in the 10%, the wickedly wise on face value. Right? They don't say nothing about you ain't supposed to believe nobody on face value. You wouldn't even exist. You wouldn't even have a relationship. If your daughter or your son or somebody run up to you and say, Daddy, this happened to me, you're not supposed to believe them on face value. You're going to make her prove it. You're going to make her prove that, you know, the blood or the that's gushing out her stomach or chest or whatever wasn't her fault. Where did it say in the lessons or in the teachings that we're not supposed to believe nothing or nobody on face value? It don't say that.
So we should take nothing on face value.
No, it don't say that.
Including the lessons.
Including the lessons. He said including the lessons. Oh, okay. I think that's what I was trying to. Is that it? No, that's not it. I think the other half.
Unfortunately, sometimes we get caught up in dogma as opposed to actual knowledge.
So I would love to see the knowledge, the proof, and the building of whatever these cave boys that you believe in, that you believe in the earth is flat in. Show me what they have produced. Show me who they have raised, who have they reformed, what rockets, what aerospace, what anti-gravitic, what physics, what have they built with their knowledge of the earth being flat? If the earth is really flat, then they cracked a hell of a code and they should be building all kind of Tesla type stuff with that understanding, right? Show me what they have built. Show me anything.
We talk about trick knowledge in the lessons, but
okay, whose lessons? And what does it say about trick knowledge? Tricknology from who? Are you suggesting that the lessons contain tricknology? You just said that they was liars in the beginning of this. You said those 3 men, even though you might have been talking about this world scientists, but this world scientists agree with those 3 men, Master Fard Muhammad. And you said that they was liars. So that means you saying that his lessons contain tricknology. Tricknology is wicked tricknology, right? So you're saying that the lessons are lies. The part that he wrote is lies.
Nobody knows exactly. Nobody can tell you exactly what that trick knowledge is, right?
Wrong. Do you know everybody? You said nobody can tell you. Like, that's the most childish, arrogant, disappointing. I'm very disappointed, but you know, it's actually hilarious at the same time. Nobody knows because you don't know. Because you don't know, nobody knows. Because you got to prove it to me. If you can't prove it to me, it's not true.
Nobody can tell you exactly what that trick knowledge is, right? You just know that trick knowledge exists, but what is the trick knowledge? So yeah.
I say the trick knowledge is what you're doing. The trick knowledge is what you're doing. If you claiming lessons that you know you not your people ain't the author of, and you claiming somebody else put a spin on some truth or some knowledge and ain't show no proof, like, man, you looking like the 10%, bro. You looking like the 10%. What's the point?
That's right, everybody. Just do your own research and stop thinking that, you know it all.
Just do your own research and stop thinking that you know it all. No, we're not thinking that we know it all. We're thinking that we know that. We thinking we know that. I think I know how to blow a bubble and it's not going to come out flat. I know if I go underwater and blow a bubble, I know that the equal pressure, whether you in space or whether you in a gravity environment, the universal shape is a sphere. Is spherical. So how much research do I need to do to be able to use my eye, look outside and look at anything, you know, in the heavens that you look at? You got a telescope. I ain't seen no flat disk planets. I ain't seen no flat disk moons. I ain't seen no flat disk stars. The sun is not a flat disk. So you telling us all of our brains and eyeballs is lying, but you and your 2 or 3 or 4 white boys are the real 5%. Y'all the real 5%ers. That's crazy. That's crazy work.
I am not off the flat earth shit.
So it was more, I guess it wasn't meant or necessary yet. Maybe I could say that for when my bro want to get on here with me, because this ain't even, I wouldn't even waste my time with a flat earth debate. My debate or my issue is what you said about the nation. You know, that they trying to get rid of you, like the nation try to get rid of such and such. And then the nation try to get rid, like, and then they're liars and their trick knowledge. Who taught you that? Who was Clarence? Who was the father? I can understand it. I can understand you rebelling against Clarence 13X because he rebelled against his authority. So, you know, rebels beget after their own kind, right? Right? Is rebellion good? In some cases. Is rebelling against righteousness? Is rebelling against God good? Never. In no case. That's what I had put this up right here for. It said, oh, there you go at the bottom because it's kind of covered. It says, it is written that all who rebelled against the apostle, Allah made it impossible for them to live in peace until they would submit. Submission means Muslim. Until you actually do what a Muslim is, because this is the title. This is what the Savior, our Savior, who departed and gave us this information before his departure. These is his lessons. He is the author and the authority. And then he gave authority to his student, his minister, who answered the lessons. And only one part of the lesson specifically say this lesson is answered very near correct. He didn't say none of my facts and figures is very near correct. He said mine's is absolutely correct, fact for fact, figure for figure. But you say that he's a lie. You say he's lying because the actual facts is the part that you say is the lie. So you in direct opposition with the God, the true and living God, but you probably don't believe that Master Fard Muhammad or W.D. Fard Muhammad is the true and living God. Otherwise, you would be with him. You believe that the Father Allah, I guess, is that character, right? But you spoke on it first. You spoke on us first. So our job is to hurl truth against falsehood till it knocks out his brains, and lo, it vanishes. And falsehood is ever a vanishing thing. So that's what, when you wake us up, when you get us to come off the porch, we're going to stay off the porch until it ain't no reason to be off the porch no more. So you start it, we finish it. This ain't the flat earth debate. This ain't that subject. This is the subject of don't slander and don't blaspheme the real, true, and living God. So with that being said, let me find this link. Here's the link. Anybody and everybody is welcome to hop on the live with me and let me know your thoughts. Let me get this off of here. Remove. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. It's easy to call the swarm out. It's easy to call the little soldiers out. All you gotta do is say something publicly. Say something violation publicly against the real Allah, against the real leader. Madan.
Yo, Cam, salute.
Salute. What's your thoughts, brethren?
Oh man, I think the brother Jamar, I think he kind of getting beside himself to compare him being ousted, like he trying to make it as if people want him out because of his belief in flat earth. To me is absurd. I don't know what make what make him.
I would. I mean, but it depends on what you mean. Get rid of a person. Like the two people that he said gotten rid of, got their life taken. So I don't know what you mean exactly when you saying got rid of. You putting it in that same category of Malcolm and Clarence 13X. The nation didn't put no hands on neither one of them, but that was they they fate that did happen to them, right? And they was known for being members of the Nation of Islam. So it's just certain things that you can't be that reckless. Somebody else might not check you about some other stuff you speaking, but you definitely gonna get it this way with this subject.
Yeah, hey, that's real. Yeah, because he definitely I don't know what made him come to that conclusion to even utter something like that. But I don't know I guess his mind went flat. So, all right.
Well, it's the rebellion. It's rebellion. So if we taught the history of Shabazz or the Yaqub or different rebellion, Iblis rebellion, any rebellion, just like I just read the lessons from the very lessons, you know what I'm saying? Anybody, a lot, what did I just, it says, let me get this off of here. Hold on a second. It says, the very last sentence on here says, and it is written that all who rebelled, all, not some, not most, not a few, is written that everyone who rebelled against the apostle, Allah made it impossible for them to live in peace until they would submit. So the fact that you even going through that means you're not at peace. The fact that you rely on weed or alcohol or whatever, that means you're not at peace. Everybody can lie. If you can accuse a righteous person of lying, then you can lie. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can say, yeah, I'm at peace. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm chilling. No, if you was chilling, you wouldn't be relying on vices and drugs and, stuff other than your natural Allah brain.
Yeah,
So,
that's real.
go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, what's funny to me is that how he would push the teachings or the lessons aside for some Johnny come lately. You know what I'm saying? So it's like almost it's like the old folks say he kind of backsliding. You know, so it's like you gonna drop the lessons for some Johnny come lately with some idea that's came out the blue. Like, I mean,
But
to each his
you already
own.
following somebody that dropped the lessons. You know what I'm saying? So I was saying rebels beget rebels. Rebellious people produce rebellious people. You know
That's
what I'm
a
saying?
fact.
So, you know, it's just like if you got a female and you got with your female because she was you was cheating with her. You got your main wife or whatever, but you got this new one and you wind up getting with the new one and leaving your wife. Then the way that you got with her is the way that she gonna leave you. That's the way that she gonna get with somebody else in a while. Like that's already the foundation that how they live, how they get down or whatever. So if you knew about these teachings, you knew about the authentic lessons and the authentic author and messenger of the lessons, and you chose somebody else other than the author and the the author of the very lessons that you claim you following, your foundation already on faulty ground. So it's just a matter of time before you gonna rebel against that.
Yeah, that's you right. You're right. I understand exactly what you're saying. It's almost as if it's like giving credit to the pot rather than give credit to the person who created the pot, so to speak.
Yeah, and but just the fact that you want to suggest that, you want to say that the authors is lying, and then you want to say that the authors, I guess, tried to get rid of the most valuable ones, who was the rebels. Like the rebels is the most valuable. You know what I'm saying? That's only if the authority or the structure was satanic. If I'm rebelling against satanic authority or satanic information, then yeah, I'm a hero. I'm a Nat Turner or a Harriet Tubman. But if I'm rebelling against the righteous rebellion, you know what I'm saying? I'm rebelling against the divine revelation and the divine, the divine rebellion itself, then yeah, that's called 5150. That's called insanity.
Yeah, I can definitely see that because to me, if I don't see how he haven't but it's just my opinion. Why haven't he sat down with brothers other nation and went over those who know the lessons about the distance and the earth and all this? But to me, he ran to to the KVs and
Right.
let try to be his life support.
Right. You believe in them on face value because at least the 5% or even the scientists of this world can show you more evidence that these things are spherical than these 3 or 4 KVs can show you that they flat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Show me any heavenly body that's flat. Show me anywhere in the universe that's the universal shape. The universal shape, you know what I'm saying, is anything flat.
Right. And my thing is, okay, if we're gonna go by the lessons and say that, and believe in far as how the creation of the heavens and the earth came about, to me, how is it not possible for the creator to not create a spherical earth? Like, ain't everything possible?
Right. Part of the most mysterious force that we know about is gravity, right? That's what's so above top secret regarding these UFOs and this the propulsion systems and this UFO technology, or so-called UAP technology. And that's the force of gravity, or the force of electromagnetism. So for a person to say that it's impossible for water to stick to the earth for whatever reason, how is the hydrogen sticking to the oxygen to make H2O? What's the force that's holding you together for you to dispute about the force that's holding water to the earth? What's the why ain't your cells and molecules just disintegrating and shit into space? What's the force that's holding your atoms and molecules together? Well, you can't prove that to me. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, the Quran say, you know, with the fools and the disbelievers, you can show them every sign. You can show them every sign, and they just will say, "Oh, surely our eyes are deceived, or we're enchanted people," and they won't believe nothing. You can show them everything, but if their heart is set on rebelling and disbelieving and just wanting to do whatever they want to do, then they're gonna find a way. They're gonna find an excuse. They're gonna find a reason to still do whatever they want to do. So you hurl truth at the falsehood and you knock the brains out of the falsehood. You make a public example of the falsehood.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right, because I don't understand how he could even ride with this flat Earth concept when there's no working model. Some guy already proved a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, which they say got this big ice wall. So it's like there's no proof or evidence of a flat Earth. So it's like everything is go off their imagination and you know what I mean, what they think, as far as you know, pseudoscience. In my humble.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, what's the point? Even if the Earth was flat, great. Now what? You know what I'm saying? There's no motive other than inspiring people to rebel against righteous authority. I want to rebel. I do not want to respect and submit to no other human being's superior knowledge or wisdom or understanding or rank or authority. You know what I'm saying? Or chain or command. That's what is you know, the nature of rebellion is that. It's envy. And, you know, it's pride and envy. So if you're too full of pride and envy that you want to call somebody that actually qualified themselves and became actual physicists and got in the laboratory and, you know, experimented and produced this and produced that and got patents in this and patents in that. They're actual physicists. But you want to say, no, well, you ain't showed it to me. You ain't taught me how to be no physicist, so I don't believe you a physicist. Like, oh, okay, well then you cool. You can not believe it. You know what I'm saying? You stick around, you hang around with these non-proof, non-physicists, cavies and cave people or other ignorant, rebellious people that, you know, don't want to have to discipline themselves and don't want to have to listen to nobody who has disciplined themselves. I don't want to acknowledge somebody that's superior to me in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'm famous already. They're not, or they don't care about being famous. They care about actually producing things with their knowledge. We want to be famous for not doing nothing. The people that actually do stuff don't want to be famous. You know what I'm saying? The people that's really elite, that's running the world, that really got this technology, they spend their time hiding it. They gonna hide their identity, they're gonna hide their name, and they're gonna hide the technology from your ass. So that's how you can tell generally a childish, you know what I'm saying, envious, proud situation from somebody that really know what they're doing and what they're talking about.
Yeah, you right. You spot on, man, because and like you said earlier, the reason why they haven't built anything or built no ship or rocket ship, in my opinion, is because the same equations that they're denying about gravity and all these things, they know that that's what it takes to put a rocket ship in orbit or in space or all that. So to me, I think that's why they haven't built anything, because they know the science is what it is, and I think they're just running a scam.
Yeah, it's a such thing as liars. It's a such thing as false flags and hiding technology or whatever. But if you really mad, if your real motivation is because you really mad at the God, you really mad at the God because I don't want to have to do these disciplines. I don't want to have to master this and master that and study, you know what I'm saying, and actually conduct experiments. Because I hear them using the lessons in every other sense. They use the lessons for every other example, but for whatever reason, you want to take this subject and launch a rebellion. You want to launch a rebellion, and you want to ally up with some 10% 10% wickedly wise cave boys. That's crazy. That's crazy, but it shows what's in your heart. We have nothing in our heart but the desire to become great. We want to be great, but we're not willing to do the work or the warfare or the study or the discipline, the restrictive laws. We're not willing to do what it takes to become great. So we mad, you know what I'm saying, and we start getting in our feelings or whatever because somebody does know more than us. Somebody has accomplished more than us, but we don't want to acknowledge it. No, I don't nobody know more than me. They ain't shown me. They ain't proved it to me. They everyday existence is already proving it. But why pick out something like that? That's just like like Dr. Fauci. Only difference with Fauci is he actually did something. He actually implemented his depopulation program. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to understand viruses and how they work. Well, I don't believe virus. I don't believe it's really a virus. Okay, you ain't got to believe whatever. You don't have to believe nothing, but it's taking your ass out. How about that? And you don't have to believe what he talking about putting in your arm. But you see what's happening when you took that. So I don't care what you don't believe. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you don't believe, but it do matter because that makes me have to look at you as very unstable, untrustworthy. I can't trust your judgment because you're willing to side with unproven and unprovable pseudo cave boy scientists that ain't produced nothing. I would respect you more if you sided with Fauci. I would respect you more if you sided with Fauci because Fauci is a real scientist that really did some shit. You know what I'm saying? But these clowns, every so-called experiment that they allegedly say or whatever got debunked, like you say, is getting clowned. They're getting clowned every week.
Yeah,
so why
man.
stand on that?
Yeah, that's it baffles me, man, to see that he even questions. I mean, it's like how do you let flat Earth make you question the lessons that you've been abiding by? You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's just crazy that the KVs make you question the lessons that you stood on. It's kind of suspect.
Hey man, well, let's see. Marco Ja, you back?
I'm here. I'm
You
sober.
gotta show your face. If you on any type of controlled substance, if you on any type of intoxicants, then I'm gonna get you off of here. What's your thoughts though? But you gotta show your face.
I'm not on no intoxicants or anything.
Show your face.
I'm gonna show my face. You gotta give me a moment. I'm not in the best living situation, but I'm gonna show my face. I mean, with everything what y'all saying, I just believe that this topic is really not worth talking about, and you already know, Cam, that it's not really worth talking about. But I get your point. If you claim yourself, if you're a 5%er and you're of the lessons that you follow the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad. But I wanted to say, and my point is, and I agree with you, and I feel like this topic is not even worth talking about, but I want to say is that Malcolm X said that no matter what you follow or what you're a part of, and I'm not quoting him,
Get to the point, bro.
That at the same time, you have to think for yourself. So if you're in the Nation of Islam,
so who's not thinking for themselves in the Nation of Islam? How did we get there if we're not thinking for ourselves?
I feel like people in the Nation of Islam think for themselves, and then I think it's people in the Nation of Islam that don't think for themselves. They have more of a cult like following, and
What is a cult?
and they're told, some people in the Nation of Islam, they don't think for themselves, and they listen to Elijah Muhammad and things.
So why? How are they listening to Elijah Muhammad if they're not thinking?
And they just go with what Elijah Muhammad said.
Okay, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. You have to be thinking to even go with what Elijah Muhammad said, right?
You're right, but you have to think for yourself. So I mean,
who listen to what you're saying. Just because I agree with Elijah Muhammad means I'm not thinking for myself.
it's not, but at the same time, when you get in these lessons and you learn the lessons, you're not always going to understand it at first.
Okay, what is anything that you understand? So if you never been a millionaire, you never had a college degree, you never had this education or that education, are you supposed to think for yourself, or are you supposed to follow the curriculum of the master or the professor or whatever if you're trying to get to where they at? What do you mean think for yourself? I'm thinking for myself, enrolling in the college and enrolling in the class. I'm here because I'm thinking for myself. And I acknowledge somebody that knows what I want to know. So I submit to them so I can learn what they know. What do you mean thinking for you? You're not thinking for yourself.
So Cam, so just like how you can join the military, just like how you can join the Nation of Islam, just like how you can join the Nation of Gods and Earths, you join it because you agree with it, but at the same time, you don't know the full knowledge of everything. Sometimes people get into, just like,
who's asking me to do something that I don't understand? What information is in the nation that somebody's asking me to do that I don't understand, so I'm just doing something that I don't understand? Give me an example. Anything in the nation that we doing that we don't understand.
I would tell you, Cam, and you're very straightforward. I would it's some things I would say I agree when it comes to the teachings.
Give me an example of what I just asked you for a specific example. I can't waste time with you, bro.
So when it comes to the teachings and everything, what I say, do I 100% agree with? No, because
based on what you don't agree with, what are they asking you to do?
I'm not seasoned.
And listen to me. I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you.
In the knowledge.
Based on whatever you don't let me mute you. Based on whatever you don't understand, what are they asking you to do that you don't understand?
So I understand the 5%, the 10%, the 85%, but when it comes to certain things about lessons, I'm a baby in the knowledge.
Okay, I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying.
I'm a student, so I'm not gonna say, hey, I know everything about the knowledge. But
we're not talking about that. We're talking about what is anybody in the nation asking you to do? What is somebody requiring you to do based on whatever information you don't understand? That you need to say, no, I'm not doing that because I don't understand.
I mean, well, the nation, when you first come in the nation and when you first come in the teachers, it sounds crazy. It sounds wow.
Listen, you're not. I'm gonna hang you up, bro, because you're not answering my question. Don't tell me how it sounds. I said, what are they asking you to do? That's crazy.
Believing, like as a newcomer, believing that a man is God, worshiping Elijah Muhammad like he's Jesus Christ, like to a newcomer.
Okay, so do you believe Jesus Christ? Do you believe Jesus Christ is worth worshiping or worth believing in? Yes or no?
I believe.
Yes or no?
No. I can get.
So you don't believe that no prophet or whatever is worth believing in?
I believe a prophet is worth believing in, but not worshiping.
What is the difference? What's the definition of worship?
Worshiping is believing that that person is as equal as God.
What is God? What is God?
God is the supreme
Is
black.
God a man? Is God a ghost? What is God?
God is a man.
So you just said worshiping a man. So what's the difference? If God is a man, why I can't worship a man?
Well, the way I interpret the teachings, and I know I'm pronouncing that word wrong, is I believe it's a God is the supreme. God is the top, and we are gods, but I consider myself a minor god. I consider myself the God, the lowercase God, the lowercase G God. But when
Well, how is it crazy though? How is that crazy?
it's not crazy,
You
but
just said it sounds crazy. It's crazy. Like, so how is
a newcomer, it could sound
a
crazy.
newcomer from what? If you coming from believing God is a 2,000-year-old white man that didn't have no biological daddy, which one sound crazier?
I'm speaking to a newcomer.
I just said that, but anyway, just hold on. Let me talk to Demetrius right quick.
Hey, peace, brother.
Peace, brother.
You know what the problem is with 5%ers, to me, in my opinion, is one, they arrogant. You know, I guess because they God, you feel like you never wrong and you can't stand the correction. Another thing too, they don't want to be accountable to nothing, man. They don't want to deal with regulations and structures. So most of the time when I hear these cats talk their shit, I mean, I'm sorry, Cam, talk that stuff, you know, it's not based off of nothing, man. It's not. Even though the lessons is there, they not honoring the lessons, man. They claiming poor righteous teachers, but I haven't seen too much teaching. I've seen more arrogance and seen them, you know, do things that's off code, you know, but they justify it.
Well, like you said earlier, like it comes down to the author of the lessons. The root word in authority, which is what you said they have a problem with, is author. Who is the author of the lesson? So you can't say that Brother Clarence 13X is the author of the lessons. If anything, you could say he stepped on the author's lessons.
He cut it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's already a high crime. That's rebellion. That's rebellion against the author. If the author really is righteous in God, you know, you don't have to believe that. Nobody has to believe that's who he is. But if we saying that's who he is, and we saying that we learned that we're God and God body and the Son of Man, and you know what I'm saying, all that from these lessons, then you got a problem. You got a problem on your hands, Houston.
Yes, sir. I mean, too, and if you want to adapt the lessons, why not adapt the program as well and push that?
Right. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
Man.
But that's all, man. That was my 2 cents, man. So I just want to shout out. I appreciate what you do, and I hope to see you Sunday, man. I'll be in the house Sunday.
Man, God willing, man. Much love, much respect, D.
Peace.
Peace. Madon, you there?
Yeah, I'm still in the house for sure.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on the most recent commenter? Because the gloves is off. This ain't, I love my people, my brothers. If you're in a 5% nation, you Hebrew Israelite, you more science, whatever you are. I love you if you black, but if you lying or slandering or stealing or rebelling or falsely accusing, then we finna air it all out. So that's what time it is right now. So Lord Jamar, you know what I'm saying? I had nothing but love and respect. Of course, we didn't agree, but you know, because of the differences in NOI versus 5% foundation. But now if you even throwing away your 5% foundation and then using NOI false situation of suggesting, you know, evil, wrong accusations about us to do it. You using NOI slander to go against your own former or present belief system, which is 5%. That's just nasty work. That's nasty work.
Yeah, you're right. You know, he might as well just denounce the 5 and just become a percenter. You know, say, hey, I'm just, I think 5 ain't 85. I'm 10, ain't 10.
No, that's actually that's called the 10%. No,
Okay.
you can't denounce no percent. You're gonna fall in one of them percentage categories, and in this case, he's the 10%er.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, because you claim to know. You claim to know who the real God is. The 10%er didn't have nothing to do. It didn't say nothing about did you know the measurements of the earth and the universe. That's reserved only for the Son of Man, the Savior, who departed, who gave us this information before his departure, meaning it's a specific man named W.D. Fard, right? He measured the earth. He fulfilled that part of the scriptures that the lessons say you got to be able to show and prove to all the new converts that the lessons that our Savior, W.D. Fard, gave us to study is the fulfillment of all the former prophets and all what it said that they would do, especially Jesus or the Son of Man. He's going to measure the earth and measure the heavens. We ain't got the instruments to do that. So when he show up doing it, and then you say that he ain't the one and this ain't it, but I'm going to take everything else he wrote and act like it's right and exact. Oh, that's 10% business right there, buddy. that's bloodsucker of the poor business.
Yeah, that's definitely what that is, man. You can't get around that one.
And only the real 5% going to be able to call it out. Because, you know, anyway, it's just like I said, the gloves is coming off. The gloves is coming off. So I ain't gonna jump out there and say nothing more than needs to be said. But he's already renouncing his own. He's saying his own is trying to get rid of him. Like what? Yeah, like get rid of you. What do you mean? You know, just like they got rid of like the nation got rid of the NOI, got rid of Clarence 13X. Like what did they get rid of him for? Who got rid of who? Who took what and did what? Because you got the history. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told all the FOI, do not touch that brother. Hands off. Whatever he did, just let it be. He didn't agree with it. You know that's insubordination. You know that's rebellion. But he said, you know, just because he said don't touch him, don't mean, you know, he wasn't gonna get touched. Not by us. Allah said the same thing about Malcolm. No. Hands off Malcolm, hands off Clarence 13X. Whatever gonna happen to them is not gonna happen by our hand. It's not gonna happen by our hand, but just because I'm saying hands off don't mean he's good. God gonna handle him and he gonna, you know, make whatever example he gonna make, and our hands gonna be clean. But if you're gonna get on here and say, you know, they got rid of him, like who got rid of him? No, he left. He wasn't liking what was going on and he left. Same with Malcolm. Nobody got rid of nobody. They got rid of themselves. But, you know, if you lie about one thing, you lie about everything, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. You know.
So, but that's what I'm here for. This is Campaign Live, you know what I'm saying? Inviting my brother, Lord Jamar, to have a conversation with me. If not tonight, we could set it up for any night, any day. Because it's all good until you bring us up. Stick to your flat earth thing or whatever. Do not bring the Nation of Islam up in none of that. But the fact you claiming the lessons and then saying that they lying and we're taught face value, don't take nothing on face value. No, we're not taught that. We taught we believe the apostle, we believe Allah and his messenger on 100% on face value, not because it's not based on something that they already proved to us. Yeah, I ain't gonna believe nobody just on, I ain't never seen nothing, no benefits, I ain't never seen no accomplishments from you. Why I'm gonna believe? Nah, that ain't what that mean. You doing that right with them 2 or 3 white boy KVs about the flat earth. That's what you doing.
Yeah, sound like he trying to add and take away from the lessons.
Well, it's absolutely that's what that was. That's no secret. That's no secret. And then it's always the accusation or the claim that he was getting to the youth. He was getting to the youth. Clarence 13 was getting to the youth, as though the FOI wasn't getting to the youth. You know what I'm saying? What more? He was bringing the lessons to the youth. Okay, well, the lessons was for registered Muslims only. So you don't respect law? You don't respect law and authority from somebody else's authored information, and you just gonna do what you want to do with my information and say I'm tripping? I wasn't giving it to the youth. We wasn't giving it to the youth. No, it's a structure. It's gonna get brought to given to the youth through the parents. The parents. So you act like we supposed to be teaching little babies the supreme wisdom lessons. Like, you know what I'm saying? They already don't understand Christianity. No, we teaching them love and the knowledge of self and basic, the basic knowledge of self and knowledge of the time that we living in. But as far as the details and the technicalities and the interpretations of the lesson, that go into all kind of subjects that if you ain't got the correct revelation or foundation, and you gonna be out there doing all kind of crazy stuff with these lessons. You don't get them to no babies. You're giving them to the babies. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it, man.
So everybody gonna have a reason. Everybody gonna have an excuse for their rebellion. We do it every day. I do it every day. If I'm doing something that I know is rebellious, I'm gonna make up a reason. I'm gonna justify it until somebody superior come along. And, I'm smarter than that, and I ain't gonna really try to justify it with somebody I know, is wiser than me or just as wise as me, because I don't want to look like the hypocrite I am.
Yeah, that's real, because I think if he's going, in my opinion, if he's gonna say that the lessons got it wrong, to me, he got to lay that out. Like, you just can't make that blanket statement and then just like not show no evidence of how it got it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Knowledge born alive. Hop on a live with me. God, hop on a live with me. Let's build. My issue is with what Lord Jamar did and said, but if you got an issue with what I'm saying, then let's build. Let's hop on the live with me. And you said, so Clarence did not do no good for his work. I don't understand what you mean by that. So hop on the live with me like a god, like a black god, and let's let the people see us talk about it. Ask me that, live, man to man, face to face, God to God, God to God, or God to Muslim. I'm a Muslim. How did the lessons get preserved? Yeah, hop on the live. Ask me that live. Let the people see both of us and hear both of us. I'll be happy to answer all them questions to the best of my ability. Then I got some questions I want you to answer to the best of your ability. Right. Correction. Antonio just corrected me. I'm a striving Muslim. I'm striving to be a Muslim. Muslim is my nature, but I don't know if I'm living up to it. So I'm striving to be a Muslim. Let alone am I going to claim that I'm God. I mean, God, because that's my nature too. That's my nature's identity. But as far as me actualizing or living up to it, I don't know what my grade is. So I'm happy with the title Muslim believer. I'm a Muslim believer, follower of Farrakhan. Reuben Muhammad, The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan calls on the forces of nature and they respond. He calls on the wheels and they appear. He calls on the masses and they show up. Show me any other man who does that. Hey, that's proof for your A double scribble right there. That's proof. You want to see proof? That's the man I follow. But where was knowledge born at? Knowledge born a lie. Where you at? Let's talk about it. This is the season. This is the season. We're not avoiding none of these hot topic subjects no more. It don't mean it's beef. It don't mean it's beef. It just means that it's time for us to come to the table, since we talking publicly, or since certain people is claiming that they represent that publicly and bringing our name into it in the wrong kind of way. Then I'm addressing it publicly. So if me addressing it publicly is offensive to you, or you disagree, or what you dispute that, then I'm inviting you to get on the live with me right now. Any member of the Nation of Gods and Earth, or the nation, Live 5% Nation. I ain't never had no problem, you know what I'm saying? But apparently, you know, people that claim to be that want to have problems with us and want to say certain things about us publicly and use a platform to do it. So you could either renounce or denounce him and say that y'all don't think or feel the same way, or he learned that from you and you do feel and think the same way. So either way, let me know what it is. Let me know what it is. Yeah, in the meantime, can y'all hit the like button, share this, you know, tag anybody, tag a 5% brother or God or Earth, anybody that you think might be interested in this subject while I'm on here, because I'm trying to be on here for 30 more minutes. And let's discuss it. Let's discuss it. Down to Earth Network. No one wants to have a conversation with Cam because they're not confident in what they are saying. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they show up. A lot of us is confident in our feelings and our passion and our emotion, but you know, when it comes to actual literature, the actual lessons themselves, or the teachings and the application of it and the discipline, because the lessons say 5%er is his duty. He has a duty. A 5%er, especially if you're a man, a male, a God, you have a duty to teach civilization. So what is civilization? Right? And what is the punishment if a 5%er fails to perform his duty? So that's letting you know that it's a discipline. It's a military line organization. It's checks and balances. It's authority. You know what I'm saying? It's law, and it's law enforcement on the 5%ers. Whether you call yourself a God, a Muslim, a believer, whatever you call yourself, if you following these lessons, it's consequences and repercussions. It's discipline, DPs, punishments. Right? Let me know when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. Daryl Jackson, the 5%ers are a reflection of Clarence 13X errors and shortcomings. I would just say they're offspring of his rebellion. A rebel is going to produce a rebel. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know no better, if you never heard these teachings, or you never heard or the authentic author, and seen the expression, like you might have got it from rebellious means until you met the actual, you know, submission, the actual correct representation of the source. So if you let it go after you meet the source, then yeah, it ain't no, you know, you don't have no issue, you know, God ain't got no issue with you or nothing like that. But if after, you know, seeing the actual real teachings, and you throw the teaching, you know, you ignore the real teachings, and you still hold on to the rebellion or the rebellious version, then hey, Allah make it impossible for you to live in peace until you will submit. Big AO, salute AO. Thank you. What's going on with these planes? Man, it's a whole lot. Which planes? The baby planes or with the devil planes? The KV plane. The baby planes or the KV planes? KV planes is flipping like flapjacks. They falling like, dominoes. Omar, I do. What's the significant difference between the NOI and the 5% nation is what we just been talking about the whole night. Is the author, the lessons, the actual teachings, the lessons are from Master W.D. Fard Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad, to his minister, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And it says right there in the lessons instructions that each student must copy the minister Elijah Muhammad's answers, because the past history has shown that, Allah always reveals himself through his chosen apostle, a chosen messenger, and through him his mystery was revealed. So if Clarence 13 X was clearly not the messenger of Allah, or the messenger of the Savior, clearly not the minister Elijah Muhammad, his answers were not Elijah Muhammad's answers. That's why nobody would show up against the actual FOI, an actual registered Muslim of the Nation of Islam, and trying to debate over these lessons, because you have absolutely no leg to stand on. Then they start getting into an emotional argument, like bro said, I'm waiting for you, still knowledge born. You saying that Brother Clarence 13X didn't do no good? So that's emotional. That's we're not saying that. But address what I'm talking about. Hop on live and talk to me about what I asked you to talk to me about. Pardon me, sir. Can I click on the link via iPhone? Yeah, you should be. I don't know if you got a because it's StreamYard. It's StreamYard app. So it might require you to do something, follow a few little instructions before you do it. But yeah, you definitely can hop on from an iPhone. You said a crash out planes. Okay. But what's your thoughts on my Don? What did I not cover?
I think you you hit it on all sides, man. Pretty much, because when you look at it, the brother definitely denounced the lessons for Bill and Ted, in my opinion. And to me, by doing that, it shows where you stand at. And and I think a lot of them brothers, they I don't know why they won't come up and have a conversation, because to me, I'm not really studied in the 5%ers. I just heard certain different things and stuff like that. So other than that, I think
120. My bad. I'm sorry, Madonna. 120. 120 straps. You saying Elijah said he answered the lesson very near correct? Did he say that, or did his teacher say that? And what you said, that's incorrect. It didn't say he answered the lessons very near correct. That's false. 120 straps or sat traps, SA traps. Hop on a live with me. It didn't say he answered the lessons very near correct. It was one lesson, only one lesson that was answered very near correct. Did you know that? And that's I think lesson number 2. Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2. It said that lesson is answered very near correct, and all students still should read and study it until he or she can recite it by heart. That's only Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2. That's not the lessons. So that's false. But you want to hop on a live with me, since y'all know the lessons better than us? Anybody want to hop on a live with me? Especially if you're a 5%er and you want to check me or correct me on these authentic lessons. You waiting. Meantime, Madame was well, hey, what's up, gorgeous? Peace. I got the young daughter guy down here witnessing. So you know I ain't gonna cuss nobody out. I never do, but you it's this is the time to really talk with me while I got my little daughter here. So I ain't gonna get riled up and
you never really like cuss someone out like that, and like no one.
Yeah, unless they like, on under the influence or they talking super crazy or something.
Not usually.
120 sat traps. Hop on the live with me. You saying it says these lessons? No, the actual, hop on because I want to show you the difference. This is just like the Quran or the Bible saying King James versions versus the New Standard Living version versus the such and such version. Show me where your lessons say these lessons are answered very near correct. Because the NOI lessons say this lesson is, not these lessons are. This lesson is answered very near correct. Right. So who wrote your lessons? Where you get your lessons from?
Yeah, you definitely need to step up and stand on it,
Crazy. I mean, but we finna clear it all up now. Anybody want to show up a 304 up? This is the time to do it. We're gonna clear it all up. And we're not even really trying to go into, like, I'm gonna do this without even going into, so much of the lessons like that, because it's for registered Muslims only. But since so much of it is stepped on and smeared and contaminated and blasted all over the internet, a lot of y'all might think the version you got is the truth. You might got some words that's twisted and some words that don't belong there, some words added to it or some words took out from it or some words changed, and you think you got the right thing.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's so real, man.
That's why we here to prove and show and prove the difference between the authentic and the stepped on. The authentic and the stepped on.
Hey, that's real, bro. That's so real. The authentic and the stepped on. Hey,
the pure. I understand.
Peace.
What's your thoughts on this?
What you called me up. I'm just responding.
Can you turn some on in the background?
Oh, yes, sir. Peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah, peace. I hear you, God. Yeah. So yeah, you heard my position, and it's based on what Lord Jamar put out there and how he put our name in it. So what part of what you said that you heard me say do you disagree with and you want to correct me on?
I want to correct you on a lot of the things that you said about the Father. The Father Allah, who taught us about the nation of gods and earths. I think it's a lot of errors there as far as he's concerned, and I'm listening in. I respect you. I love you, Cam. You do a lot of building on here, but I think you got a lot of errors there as far as he's concerned.
Well, I just need you to lay them out for me. You say you think, you don't feel or believe, but you think, at least you thinking. So you think I got a lot of errors regarding Brother Clarence 13X, whom you refer to as the Father Allah.
That's him.
Right. So lay out the things that you think I'm in error about.
Well, we can go to the 16th degree, as you would call it, in 1 to 40.
Well, we don't speak it like that. So just give us the lesson.
It says, who is the 5% in the poor part of the planet Earth? We are the poor righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachings of the 10% who are all wise and know who the true and living God is, who teach that the true and living God is the Son of Man, supreme being, black man of Asia, who teaches that the well, I don't want to go all the way into
go ahead. Don't stop.
the degree. The thing is, when you mention that degree, as much as I have reverence, I don't want you to ever think that I don't respect the nation. I'll be in attendance for the minister on Sunday.
Right.
Got a lot of love for the minister. Got a love
I need
for
you
the
to
message.
land the plane. I need you to get to the point, though.
Well,
you're not offended.
you
We're not here on emotion. You're not
okay, you must realize that nobody ever crystallized that degree, the 16th degree, besides the Father.
Say that again. I don't. Okay, let's go. Let's go over it again.
Okay.
You stopped. You didn't even finish reading it.
Right, because I'm dealing with elements. But the thing is that the Father is the one who taught about the 5%. In all of the literature that I've read, and I've read many things from Elijah Muhammad, because unfortunately, as much as I would love to be in the presence or hear from Master Farad, the person who is the founder of the knowledge that was brought to us to relieve us of what we were brought into here in the wilderness of North America, it was the Father who taught us of who the 5% was. He crystallized that degree.
Where did he learn it from?
Oh, no doubt.
No, don't say it. No, say who he learned it from.
Well, he learned it from Master Farad.
No, he didn't learn it from Master Farad. Who did he learn it from?
I would say Master Farad.
No, he learned it from his minister. No, he never seen Master Farad. He learned these lessons. These lessons was dictated or wrote down by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He learned them from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
And who did he learn it from?
It says who he got it from. It's the questions are from Master Farad Muhammad. The answers is from who? Who's answering these lessons?
Well, I just recently. I want to answer your question, but it may not be.
Get to it, bro. Who answered the lessons, bro?
Okay, so the 1 to 36, who answered those questions?
I didn't, bro. Just answer the question, bro.
Well, the reason why I'm asking you that is because Elijah Muhammad's not answering the questions in the 1 to 36.
What's 1 to 36?
The 1 to 36 is the bedtime stories. You call them bedtime stories in the nation?
Those ain't questions.
How are they not questions?
Are you talking about get away from reading the devil's bedtime story to your girls?
Well, where you get it says, my name is W.F. Muhammad. I came to North America by myself.
That's not no questions.
Well, the first 6 statements are not questions, but after you get past the 7th, where it says, why does he like the devil? There's a question and answer that goes on all the way until that is complete. Am I correct?
Okay. Okay.
Right. Well, we're going somewhere else. But my thing is that,
somewhere else.
Okay, maybe to prove a point.
You ain't proved it. I'm quiet. You ain't proved nothing.
Okay. My point is that I don't think that you understand the contribution that the Father Allah gave to the deaf, dumb, and blind in the wilderness of North America. And by making these statements, I think we're doing more. And I'm not going to say you, because there's people on both ends that may feel that way.
We're not feeling that. We're not feeling nothing. We're showing improvement.
All right.
So you claim that that Clarence 13X did something with the term 5% that the NOI didn't do. He taught something.
Yeah, it was dormant.
That the NOI didn't.
It was dormant. Did you read the message to the black man?
You said what was dormant?
That lesson is dormant in any degree or any book. The knowledge equality. Well, for me, it's the knowledge equality degree, but for you, it's the 16th degree in a lesson number 2.
We don't call nothing degree. We don't call nothing 16th degree. We don't even use that language. That's Clarence
Okay, I
13X
do.
language. That's
Well,
Clarence
you call him
13X
Clarence
language.
13X. To me, he's the father.
Okay, but if you know anything about speaking the people's language, right? If you want to be successful, no man can be
What people?
bro. Can I finish?
Yeah, but what people are you
The
referring to? Can we get
216 people that's watching right now.
okay? All right.
That's what we talking for, right?
Mhm.
So if we don't know what the hell you talking about, the 16th degree, the 15th degree, like we don't not got no clue what you're talking about. So say what it is. Say what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, if you have never received lessons, then there's no way for us to even get to this level. You have to first answer the first degree. And what is the first degree in the student enrollment in the 1 to 10? Can you answer that?
Bro, we talking to the people. It's 220 something people on here.
But I'm speaking to you. Do you know
we're speaking to the people. So if I'm telling you I represent the people is watching this live. They watch me because I break stuff down. I explain and interpret whatever the teachings or whatever was going on. I break it down so they can understand it.
That's
I don't talk. Yeah, so please don't speak in tongues. Actually interpret.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to be simple when I'm speaking.
You are speaking in tongues. So if you're saying 10th degree and this and that, then we don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So Master Farad asked the question in the student enrollment, who is the original man? And I'm asking you, Cam, what is the answer to that question?
You just answered that. The original man is the Asiatic black man. What does that have to do with what we were talking about?
Is that the total degree?
Oh, boy,
I'm going. You don't want to answer. I answer. The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe. So you can't act as though the gods are wrong for coming to the conclusion that we are the gods of our own reality. We are totally right and exact. We're not some nation that's just coming off for something that we don't have no understanding to.
So what about the rest of the lessons where it say that you Muslims?
Well,
are you a Muslim?
Okay, so let's go into
yes or no, bro.
Well, come on, man. Some things can't be answered with a yes or no. How are we answering these?
Wow.
Something
So you can pick
I can answer that. Well, I have to. I have to, because if you think that me saying that I'm a Muslim is a guy wearing a kufi and
bro, I had to stop you because now you just filibustering and running. You trying to talk loud now. I asked you a specific question, and you picked out the part of the lessons that you wanted to apply to yourself, saying that we God. So okay, what the far more of the other portion of the lessons say that we Muslims, right? So are you a Muslim or not?
There's over 73 different forms of Muslim. So what do you mean? What kind of Muslim?
You can't even answer it, bro. I guess we done with this conversation.
Okay, yeah, let's drop it because I'm gonna tell you
done with the conversation.
What kind of Muslim? What kind of Muslim do you mean?
There's only one kind. All right, peace, bro. But that's part of, like I say, with the rebellion. Anytime that you hit the pause button and you get the stuttering and you can't just answer straight out, knowing that you took somebody else's lesson, somebody else's authored, information, and you can't just directly give them the credit and say exactly what he said we are. You want to pick the parts that you want to pick based on somebody that rebelled, that took those lessons and gave them to you in an unofficial way and put their own spin and their own cut on it. That's what you get. That's what happens. So that's not called biting or plagiarizing or theft nowhere else, especially on the East Coast, where hip hop, how that influenced hip hop, how the lessons of supreme wisdom, lessons by Master Father Muhammad, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and NOI influenced hip hop. And one of the main laws and rules in hip hop is don't bite. Don't bite. Don't bite nobody else's lyrics. Don't bite nobody else's rhymes. What is that? What was that? What is that called then? If you even hear 2 or 3 words of a rhyme that you wrote, they just want to go smash you. You a sucker MC. You a biter. So what if it's God? What if it's God and his Messiah? Like, what did that make you? Man.
But that was
so. Hey man, you ask for it. You ask for it, you get it. We straight. Yeah. You ask me anything straight, I'm gonna give you the straight answer. I'm not gonna go take you around the emotional backstory. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go right to it. Let's get it. Let's go right to it. Make it relevant. Don't start talking about 5% mean this, and he broke open the crystals of the 5%. So I don't know what he was talking about. Folgers coffee crystals. I don't know what he's talking about, bro. Crystallized, I don't know, crystal meth.
Yo.
I mean, I can clown now, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, he definitely was tiptoeing through the tulips, man. Because what he was saying was foreign to me. I was trying to get a grasp because, like you said, he was using terminology that a lot of us didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So I'm like, brother, I'm thinking like the brother gonna make it plain, but you can clearly see he didn't want to give credit to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That was funny to me.
I mean, that's part of the problem. That's like the main problem. If you want to, the Bible say, will a man rob God? Will a man rob God? You're going to claim that you are God because of the information and the revelation that he brought. And then you're going to rob him of it and say that the Clarence 13 is the Father Allah. He's the Allah, the Father, not a Father, not a Father, the Father. Damn. Okay, well, if you can say that boldly, to my face, I can say, damn, to your face. I can say, that's crazy work. That's crazy work right there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And we just getting started. Here's the StreamYard link. I'll be on here 3-4 hours if I need to be tonight on this subject. Because I want to hear from you. Your brother from the East want to hear from you. From the East side of LA. I want to hear from you right away. Yeah. And like I said, I never really had no beef or no craziness like that, but this must be the season. 'Tis the season. The 5%ers that I grew up with, in this rap thing, when I used to go to Harlem and New York and the Bronx and all of that, they wasn't on this. They wasn't on none of this energy. They didn't never cross no line. They ain't never put our name in no weirdo scenarios. Well, since you want to do it, since whoever want to do it, whether it's Lord Jamar, whether it's anybody want to get on here and say anything fly, anything weird, anything suspect about the NOI by Master Fard Muhammad or the author of the lessons, I got time for you. I got time for you. I got whatever you want.
Hey, yo, Cam, you mind playing it back to refresh our memory?
Playing what back?
Some of the audio.
Lord Jamar thing?
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. Yeah, it's like 4 minutes.
Not off the flat earth shit. Just because of the dumb shit that happened that day. Again, I was off my square. Now that's my cross to bear for now. But that changes nothing. We still don't live on a spinning ball. Nothing was proved that day other than, I didn't memorize certain technical terms, scientific terms. No debate was lost. No debate even really happened. So, yeah. Because listen, if y'all can prove to me that we're on a spinning ball,
talking about the earth. If y'all can prove to me that we're on a spherical or oblong shaped planet, then that's what he's saying. He's saying it is flat. He's saying for whatever reason we on a flat planet. Lord Vichai, I don't know what that means. No one owns the lessons. Absolutely, somebody owns the lessons. The one that authored the lessons owns the lessons. The one that authored the lessons and raised us owns us. The same one that owns the lesson owns us. Absolutely false. And you're welcome to hop on the live with me, and we can get in the ring. We can spar a little and see where your head is at.
Hey, I'll go with it. I'm not married to this shit. But all signs show that they're lying.
So right there, that's why I had that highlighted. All signs show that they are lying. Anybody that promotes that the earth is spherical, like right here, like these three men are lying, according to Lord Jamar.
And I just want to say, right, to a lot of these brothers in the 5% nation, the nation of gods and earths and all of that, it's ironic that we are supposed to be the ones in the small minority that have the truth. That we're not necessarily supposed to be the ones agreeing with the 85s.
Yet, as you see here, you're agreeing with the 10. We're not supposed to be agreeing with the 85, but we damn sure ain't supposed to be agreeing with the 10%. The little cave boys that got on here got you repeating that the earth is flat with absolutely no proof, no evidence, and no accomplishments. Whatever high science that they allegedly know that the rest of the world don't know, they ain't been able to do absolutely nothing with it.
Nothing.
Because we're supposed to know better. And the fact that many 5%ers are damn near like 85s when it comes to this. And I'm gonna say
said many 5%ers are like 85%ers when it comes to this. Saying that they poison animal eaters, blind, victims of mental death. So if you believe in a circular earth, like the lessons say, then you're a victim of mental death and power.
Say many, because not all, because there's many that actually do know the science. It's just funny. And now what's even funnier, right, is I see people, it's like history repeating itself.
Down to Earth say it was a cave boy debating with Jamar, but the cave boy was in agreement with the 5%. The cave boy was in agreement with the black gods, the teachings of the black gods, right? That's just like saying that, so you support Trump. Yeah, if Trump was pushing heterosexual two genders, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm 1,000% with Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to not be with him and shit when he telling the truth.
The same way they wanted to get rid of the Father Allah from the Nation of Islam. Oh yeah, they want to get rid of me from the Nation of Gods and Earths.
They want to get rid of the Father Allah. No, the Father Allah wanted to get rid of himself. He wanted to leave the nation and take somebody else's lessons with him. Clarence 13 wanted to leave and take somebody else's information with him and do with it what he pleased. And nobody was trying to get rid of him. If that's what you're trying to do, yeah, I would get rid of you. You can't be in here, but you ain't supposed to steal nothing. You ain't supposed to take nothing that belongs to me and give it to people that I didn't approve of.
Same way they wanted to get rid of Malcolm when he said things.
What things?
Yeah.
No, not yeah. Don't just stop it right there. What things did Malcolm say? Did he say some truth? What did he say? You don't want to go there, huh? You don't want to hop on that third rail, do you? Oh, yeah, let's hear what he said. Do you agree that what he said was true? Was worthy of him saying? Nah, we got to talk about that. It ain't no yeah. We need to hear what he said.
When he said things,
what?
Yeah.
No.
They want to do the same to me.
They want to do the same thing to you because what? What are you saying? Are you saying that you in the same category of violation that Malcolm was in? The same type of things that Malcolm was saying against the truth and against his teacher, is against his nation? Is that what you saying? And people want to do to you what the nation allegedly wanted to do with him? Well, the leader, the author of them lessons, the author of the answers said hands off Malcolm. And he said hands off Clarence 13X. And real Muslims obeyed. If you really with him, you didn't touch him. If you a COINTELPRO CIA plant or something like that, maybe you did touch him. You wasn't with Elijah though.
It's very, very ironic. And we applaud the father for standing up and
what?
You know,
no,
thinking for himself. And going against the grain inside the Nation of Islam.
Oh, you said it right there, brother. You applaud him for rebelling against the apostle. When the lessons say Allah made it impossible to live in peace for anybody who would rebel against the apostle. So there it is. We need to go no further. True story. My bad. I seen you backstage. True story. Peace, my brother.
My brother. Peace, my brother. And listen, one, I really want to thank you for addressing this, and not only addressing it, but the manner in which you addressed it, because it does show a difference, right? What you said in the beginning was, hey, I would love that Lord Jamar is welcome to come onto this program, and we can address it that way. We can address it offline, right? You're addressing it in a respectable way. And I want to say that you're doing it because you were part of the nation, and Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, had an organization, and he held a way of holding people accountable. And that's where you get discipline, because you get men that are taught, making sure that you're taught, then you can be held accountable because you're part of an organization. Someone will see you acting out of character or doing something that goes against this organization and can just check you. Say, yo, let me talk to you for a minute. Maybe you do need to sit down. Maybe you do need to be quiet for a minute until you're in a position to conduct yourself and speak intelligently on this particular subject. For Jamal's case, right, and I'm going to say this respectfully to him, that when you watch that program, and I've watched that program several times, and even with my brother, he was disrespectful to Godfrey's program. All the profanity, all the slurs that are being thrown around. And why? Because he wasn't prepared for a conversation that he requested. He requested the debate. He said he was ready to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. You prepared to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson on the earth being flat? That's your position? And that runs counter to the lessons that you have. So that's where you get, and that to me, and I think I said this to you one time before, that I'm old enough to have been around at the beginning of the 5% Nation. I don't have a problem with those brothers. But if you get knowledge from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, right? You get that knowledge. You get it. Oh, shoot, I got it now. And all of a sudden, you wake up one day and your name is Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar, your name is Allah born. And I never seen you at no Black Family Day. I never seen you selling Muhammad Speaks. I never seen you putting in the work. I never seen you do none of those things. There has to be, when you earn something, then you're going to hold on to that and then you're going to present it in the correct manner. Or if you do what Lord Jamal did, there's going to be an organization, there's going to be men, let's say gods, that are going to pull you to the side and say, hold on, brother, you did this at this time publicly. What you should do now is go out and say publicly that you were wrong.
Mm.
That hasn't happened. Instead, the ignorance is compounded and compounded where you got the nerve now to speak ill of the person that you got, your organization got the knowledge from.
Mm.
That's a brother. And that's a problem that I don't know whether they have. And I mean, I don't want to go as far as to say they don't, right? I don't know whether they have a structure, an organization, or elders that Lord Jamar would recognize that can call him in and say, hey, bro, my brother, you're conducting yourself in a way that puts us in a negative light, that puts you in a negative light.
Yeah, I can't tell them or another organization how to conduct they discipline or they DPs or whatever they do. All I know is if it bleed over here, we gonna handle it. Like, you know what I'm saying, in whatever fashion. So if you claiming these lessons and you claiming the author of these lessons, it clearly asks, the lessons clearly say what's the meaning of civilization. I'm gonna put you on mute for 1 second. It say, what's the meaning of civilization? And the meaning of civilization is one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, refinement, and it's not savage. Pursuit of happiness. So refinement, you know what I'm saying? Understanding, wisdom. Is it wise for you to demonstrate? Is this the wisest way to communicate whatever it is that you want to believe or you want to do? Is this real understanding? Is it refinement, or is it savage? And if we claim that we are the 5%, then what is the duty of a civilized person of 5%? And then what would it say? What if a civilized person does not perform his duty? What must be done, right? And what's the prescribed law of Islam of said person of that ability? So it's discipline, it's law, it's order, and it's law enforcement involved in this. If you claiming these lessons, I don't know if your organization enforces that or how they enforce that, but over here we enforce it like this. It's enforced in word. If you aggress or you violate in word, especially publicly, then you're gonna get dealt with verbally, publicly. So that's just the law.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And if you look at, I'll go to Muhammad Ali, but it's going to be true of you and other members of the Nation of Islam that are, making public appearances. If you look at the way that Ali and others and yourself again have conducted themselves, they were under, let's say Ali, under extreme pressure. This is at a time where there were lynchings that were going on, where the nation was being attacked on news media, everything. Muhammad Ali was going on to the others' platforms and at all times never raised his voice, didn't vanity, spoke with them with respectfully. But when the question came up about, well, I'm sure that, wow, you're conducting yourself so civil. I'm sure that you don't believe that we are. And Muhammad Ali said, no, I do believe that.
Yeah, absolutely, I believe it.
Muhammad is my messenger, and this is what he taught me. But never was it done in a savage manner.
Or evil spirit, mean spirited manner.
Exactly. And you can, I'm not, I think this is a lesson, not, for, El Jamar, because in the scheme of things, he's not, none of us are really significant, more as a whole. And in our adherence to these lessons, that's where we're important. And it's not a personal attack on him. It's more, you are acting and saying things in a way that brings dishonor, and trying to dishonor the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. You're dishonoring yourself and bringing disgrace to you.
Right. Absolutely.
For you too. And again, this is not a personal thing. Where I think sometimes that, and I'll be short and brief with this, when the brother was in a dispute with someone else that it said something disrespectful about the minister.
Oh, Vlad.
Yeah. So in that situation, you are under his employ for a long time. Then when the disrespectful thing is said, you're asking for an apology. Over and over again, asking for an apology. Well, nah, I can't, it's got to be accountability and consequences. You separate yourself from it. Someone says something disrespectful about, let's say you, right? It's not going to be, oh man, you need to, I can't, no, it's, nah, my brother, if what you're saying, if you don't correct it after one attempt, then guess what? I cut ties. That's the way I can't cut. That's my brother. Now you about the minister and you asking for an apology. I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And what's the difference between siding with Vlad and siding with the two or three flat earth cave boys that, you know what I'm saying, that you siding with against the lessons, against your nation, against the NOI, against the 5% nation, and against the very lessons that that gave you the claim to fame that we all even listening to you about. If you wasn't Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian spitting the 5% lessons on rap, we would not mess with you. We wouldn't even know you or care about you. And same lessons say that the restrictive law of Islam is our success at all times. Restrictive law. You can't do whatever you want to do. You can't say whatever you want to say. You can't take other people's information or lessons and do whatever you want to do with them. It's law, restrictive law. And I gotta mute you because I'm hearing some background. Is our success. That means if you're not operating according to law and law enforcement, then you're not successful and you won't even enjoy peace because Allah will make it impossible for you to live in peace and have success unless you submitting to the restrictive laws of Islam, the laws of righteousness. But if you don't claim that you're a Muslim, you don't claim that you have to practice Islam like the brother that was just on. He wouldn't even say that he was a Muslim. He was quick to say he was God because the lessons say I'm God. But the lessons say that you're a Muslim way more than to say you God. What about that part?
That two things I'll say about that. One, and again, I got respect for everyone, but I have to tell what it is the truth. Clarence 13X was in rebellion. No one told, and I don't know. Like I said, out there, like at the beginning, and said, "Well, who gave y'all those? Like you didn't earn it. If you hear it, and then the next thing I'm supposed to hear is, man, I'm going to be at the temple, right? And even if, let's say because me and my brothers had this conversation. Let's say at the time you're 15, 16, 17, you don't know any better. Okay, cool. But now we're 30, 40, 50. You don't know no better now? You don't know. You know that the man was in rebellion, and you know that those lessons that where they originate from. You can't tell me you don't know. You do know better now.
Yeah.
last thing I'll say is this as well, is that sometimes with social media, um, I just really learned this recently. I'm a slow learner with this. Brothers are saying things that they don't mean, and they're doing it just for content purposes. They're saying the most outrageous things,
Right.
and I can't say what's in someone's heart, but I can say, man, I think you do. I think that you know better, and you're saying these things in order for people to, tune in. I'll leave it at that and just mute.
Man, yeah. I mean, it's not rocket science. Then hold on one second. Yeah, it's making a lot of feedback noise. It's not rocket science. If you claiming the lessons, you know where the lessons came from. Anything else is plagiarism, is theft, is robbery, is slander. You know what I mean? The lessons clearly say that each student should copy the answers of Minister Elijah Muhammad, right? And they say, why is stress? They stress this. Why is stress made to the Muslims to copy the Minister Elijah Muhammad's answers? This is before you ever is being told that who is the original man. This is the very instruction to the laborers. It ain't even saying that who is the original man is the God of the universe yet. You don't even know you're the God of the universe. We ain't got to that part. The first part is let me lay these rules and these instructions to y'all, you Muslims first. Muslims first. And the Muslims must copy this one man's who's answering these lessons, must copy his answers. And why? They say because the past history shows that the Almighty Allah sends prophets and apostles for the people's guide and example. So was Clarence 13 Master Fard Muhammad's prophet or apostle? Or did he clearly say who his prophet, who you supposed to copy answers, whose answers you supposed to be copying? So it said the past history shows that Almighty Allah sends prophets and apostles for the people's guide and example. Was Clarence 13 the people's guide and example? And through him, or through them, his mystery, the mystery of Allah was revealed. The mystery of Allah, right? So the fact that we just want to just take this one little piece of paper that was revealed in 1934 and act like Elijah Muhammad died, Master Fard Muhammad died, and that's all we had. No, that was the beginning of the revealing of the mystery of the Allah that he was talking about. He was teaching in your midst for 40 whole years. It ain't got, and he said, well, yeah, them answers that I gave in the lessons in 1934, those answers I gave when I was a baby. This is what Elijah Muhammad said. But if you was to ask me today, so why you want to just hold on to something that was revealed or, in 1934 and ignore the man who answered him for 40 years when he's telling you the updated, perfected, correct answers? No, it was in 40. It was very near correct. Okay, he was in your face for 40 years telling you the correction of the answers. What about that part? Oh no, we was following the Father. We was following the Father. You know what I'm saying? Not the one who actually, answered the lessons and corrected his answers for 40 years in your face and built the whole nation in your face. Forget all of that. So
I hope other, people that are within, the nation of earth and gods, or the 5% nation, I hope that they, come onto your platform and, have a conversation just about what, on whether it's, Lord Jamar and just their organization. Like I haven't really, there may be a program out there like that, but I'm not sure. Just to have an understanding of how do they go about the business of, correcting it. I don't want to speak on their business, but again, to your point, once you mention the Nation of Islam, and did he show the picture? Was that him showing the picture of Elijah and?
No, I put that on there because that's I'm driving it home of who you talking about. Because if you saying anybody is they are liars, they're liars. So you saying anybody that's promoting spherical Earth is liars. So what? And you claiming these lessons, and you claiming that your brothers from the 5% nation who follow these lessons, you claiming they're lying to you, or they're taking something on face value. You claiming that the lessons say we're not supposed to take nothing on face value. That's a lie. It don't say that. It say don't believe in the 10%, the devil's word on face value. That's the reason why we're believers, because we wasn't there. We don't have the instruments to measure the earth. We got to take his word on face value. Otherwise, why are we believers? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just total insanity to me. You know, it's just a total rebellious excuse, you know, trying to justify your rebellion. So if that's what you want to do, just rebel. Just say, you know, I don't believe in this altogether, and do what you want to do. Don't bring our name into it. Don't bring the nation, try to get rid of such and such, and the nation got rid of such and such. Like, nah, bruh. You leave our name out of that.
Yeah, so and I'm glad that you did bring up those pictures, because it brings home the point. Like I'm sure you were thinking this. It brings, when you say the nation, you're talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You're talking about Minister Louis Farrakhan. You're talking about a whole organization of brothers and sisters that have been supporting their community and abiding by these and learning the lessons and going out and doing the work. And when I want to honestly say, when you disrespect it in both word and in how you conduct yourself, I'm glad that quite often, I said this with you before, these things don't get addressed. And I'm glad that you're addressing it and saying, hey, this is wrong, and the way that you're conducting yourself is wrong. And sometimes with Elijah Muhammad, he didn't give us these names, right? The Lord and
Oh yeah.
scientific this and that. Because sometimes you put Lord in front of your name, and you start thinking that you know everything. Because that's what I would think if someone says, if I said my name is Lord this, you can get confused and think that you know everything, and that becomes a stumbling block.
Yeah. So I just want to open the floor. You can stay on if you want to. I'm gonna try to open the lines up and see if anybody else want to hop on, but you don't got to go nowhere. But let me see because I'm seeing a few people in the comments that I invited to come up and they didn't show up. They 304'd up. So I can't respect that. But it's not emotional. It's just passion. We can get passionate and we can, you know, put some feeling behind our words or whatever. But I don't want to physically fight nobody. I don't want to harm nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody trying to harm me or whatever over these words. It's supposed to be honoring who we supposed to be honoring, right? If you honor Brother Clarence 13X, then I want to hear you honor who he got his lessons from. If I hear you dishonoring it and then trying to involve us with some false accusation, like we wasn't getting the teachings to the youth in the street, that's pure lies. That's pure slander. Yeah, we wasn't given no high, mature lessons that say something about taking faux devils and all that. We're not giving them to no babies. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to give them to the parents, and the parents are supposed to chew up that little food and give little doses of it to the babies. Certain things you ain't just supposed to give to no babies. You can't even handle it. Why I'm gonna give some high warfare type talk and supposed holy war was to break out tomorrow, and like how you gonna get that to some babies? You gonna have them crash all the way out. You don't do that. But we won't even have that talk because you so emotionally wrapped up in your guy and your father. Then you deny the actual father of all of it, and you wind up in this kind of situation.
I want to add, because I want to just add on to what you just said, because it's 100% true. and I want to give some experience with that, is that those babies, 15, 16 years old, got that knowledge and didn't have the discipline to stop eating pork. They're on the corner and somebody would say, "Oh man, what's the name was on the street? He's over there, he's eating pork rinds." We got to discipline him, right? And then the discipline would be, I think it was called like a righteous beat down or something to that effect.
Right.
Through, we're going to go and beat someone down because they missed a lesson, or because they didn't have their lessons ready, or because they're out in the corner eating pork rinds. And someone would say, "Yo, Allah eat pork on a." If people from New York gonna recognize this saying, "Allah eat a big long fork."
He what?
That children
He said what?
They would say, like, let's say someone named Allah born, right? They would say the person's name that was a 5%er eat pork on a big long fork. And then it would be, well, the beat down's coming. So you would gather together and they're going to beat him down. But that's because children were getting the lessons and didn't have the discipline to play it out and to become men in those lessons, or be held accountable in the right way. The right way is not, I'm come and kick you and beat you down. No, that's not the right way. You're teaching something that will result in, how can I say, them believing that this is the way to handle things. It's not the way to handle things.
Right. I remember Brother Akbar, Minister Akbar, Abdul Akbar, OG veteran in the nation. I mean, I shouldn't use that language, but, he knew Brother Clarence 13X and rolled up on him and seen him. He was there smoking a cigarette, you know what I'm saying? Talking about, I master all things, or some excuse that he used or whatever. But then the question was asked, how did he die? How did Brother Clarence 13X die? How did the Father Allah die? Right? Because if we just using that title loosely and carelessly, anybody can be the Father Allah, then how did he die? You know what I'm saying? If you don't mind going into that history, because I heard some stories. I don't know if he was gambling or if he was doing whatever he was doing, but I know it's allegedly it had to do with an elephant gun.
Yeah, so then those were, I'll be honest with you, those there were several stories that I heard, and I didn't take, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm sure that my brother would know, right? But I never took the time to learn about what happened to Clarence 13X, and I didn't take the time to do it because, again, my thought on it was right from the beginning. I'm maybe 15 years old, and brothers that I knew, all of a sudden I woke up one day and they got lessons, and I didn't see them at Black Family Day, didn't see them Muhammad speaks, didn't see them doing the things, all the work that was being done, and some people making fun of you because you were a member of the Nation of Islam, until it became popular. So as a young man, it just made me bitter that, hold on, bro, I don't know where you got this name from, but I know you didn't earn it. And I'm a kid, right? So I'm thinking, how is it that I've been doing this for this long and you got a name that's flyer than mine?
Yeah.
But you got to say, what they were saying was cool. Oh, I'm blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I got 52 blocks boxing, right? That came with it was all cool.
Man.
How could this be?
Man. So yeah, that's not, and I don't say that to be disrespectful. I don't ever mock death or mock the dead, but if you claiming to be, just like how we say that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is still physically alive, and we can relate how the lessons say that all the lessons and all of the works verify what's written in the scriptures of the prophecies and this and that. So if the Quran and the Bible say that the Messiah was made to appear as dead, but they killed him not for certain, but Allah raised him to himself. And, it won't be no, you know, all of the people of the book is going to bear witness to this before his death. So we got a justification of why, you know, we saying that he's not dead. He's not physically dead. And we got 1985 experience and guidance that have been guiding the whole nation of Islam for the last 40 years that came from so-called UFO mother wheel, Elijah Muhammad on there, that he couldn't have got that information no other way, and it's been proven accurate, and it lasted 40 years, right? Honorable Elijah Muhammad was 1935 once his teacher departed, 1935 to 1975, that's 40 years. And then the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan from 1985, that confirmation to now 2025, that's 40 years. So it's always, you know, the way that a person allegedly departs is 1,000% relevant. If you depart in disgrace, or if you depart in a dishonorable way or in dishonorable surroundings, like, you know, it's honorable if you are a martyr and you involved in the direct war with the beast, and you know Allah allows the beast or whatever to take you out and fight in the cause of Islam. But if you in some, I don't know if this is the case, this is what, you know, some reports that I heard over the years, if you in a gambling shack, or you doing this or you doing that, you know what I'm saying, and one of your own people take you out, that's not honorable. You know what I'm saying? That's not only, you know, is that, you know, not something that could happen to the real Allah, you know, we're children, we're potential, you know, we're like little seeds of Allah that got the capacity to grow into that. But if you claiming he is the Father Allah and he is God, he ain't even a Muslim, you know what I'm saying, he's above all of that, then, you know, somebody less than that ain't supposed to be able to take him out. Right? Did that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. And it also, that if you are that, then you create an organization. You create a structure. You just don't throw lessons out there. You just don't give teachings. And you don't have an organization in place that ensures that those lessons are being taught the right way, that no one is misquoting the lessons, that is placed into the hands of there's elders in the organization. Like, that's what I would look for if you know, someone that is serious about what they're doing, right? You have to have an organization, because one day you may be gone, but the organization moves on past you, right? You know, outlives you, and also you designate someone as the head of the organization before you go. The organization has a leader. If those things are not done, this is not, you know, for 5%ers or anyone else, this is any group, then your organization is not one that I can take seriously. You know,
we were saying earlier, from my experience and limited understanding, when it comes to divine revelation and a divine appearance of who we believe is God in the flesh, God in person, coming out of his hiding after trillions of years of keeping the personal identity of that supreme being hidden from the public. If we on that subject and we rebel, you know, if we rebel against that God that we claim to any degree is true, rebellion against that God can only produce little rebel offspring. You know what I'm saying? A rebel can only beget a rebel if it's against God, right? There's no divine productivity that's going to really come from that. God can make any negative or positive, but my bad, sorry about that. But it's not going to be from you doing things your way. It's going to come from, my bad. It's going to come from, like the Quran says, Allah is he who brings forth the living from the dead. He's going to have to take your mentally dead condition and take you out of that condition and bring you into the living condition or the living environment, the actual interpretation. But you staying in among the dead, you're not ever going to produce nothing but what you are. If you're a rebel against divine revelation, you only going to produce rebellion in your students or your children, your offspring. Your organization is just going to be an organization of rebellion like you are. So hopefully I'm thinking that I heard that at a certain point before, his demise, he was saying that a lot of the people the youth that he was teaching needs to go back to the mosque. Y'all need to go back into the mosque. So he hopefully was seeing certain things that, he was seeing signs of his own rebellion or consequences of, rebellion that he didn't want to curse the youth with, and was telling them that they need to go back. But if you didn't go back, that don't work. Don't do as I say, do as I do. If you trying to tell the people that you just taught, in the wrong way that they supposed to go back, but you not trying to go back, you not trying to, apologize or atone or make things right. If they see you do it, then they'll do it. But you just can't still do what you want to do and whatever you was doing and try to send them, they're going to respect you even less.
No, I agree with that 100%. And again, when you give lessons to children, especially to children in poverty, like people, let's say children living in the projects, right, without any structure, and you're giving them lessons to live by, but they're poor, right? And so the street is going to call, right? And when the street calls, the street may say, yo, you should be out here selling this poison to your brothers and sisters, right? Now, there's a conflict there, right? You're a child, you live in this poverty, and you say that you have these lessons and this is what you abide by, but you're selling poison to your brothers and sisters. If you're a child and there's no organization, your way of dealing with it is you don't recognize the conflict. No one holds you accountable to say, hey, my brother, okay, you got the lessons, and you're going to another brother and saying, hey, bro, did you say those lessons that I gave you? Okay, tell me those lessons. Oh, you stumble reciting the lessons. You catch the beat down, right? But you can recite the lessons, don't stumble, but you out here selling all this and there's no problem with that. And I understand that that's the wisdom of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the nation, in that no, you don't give the lessons to the children. You don't have someone as a leader, let's say someone heading the FOI, but then you see them on Saturday night or Friday night on the street with dice and craps. No, like, whoa, hold on, brother. Then you can be corrected, or you can be excommunicated. You can be sit down. But these are children, right? There's a problem with that. And also, I think you have to tell the truth. Telling the truth is not disrespectful. If I say Clarence 13X got lessons that was stolen, it doesn't matter to me if I'm saying it to my brother who I love. I say it to him, right? Even though he's in the organization, and I say it to him as well when we having those conversations. Now, I have to say it. I don't say it. It's not. How can I say this? That it doesn't make me feel good to say it, but I have to say it. It's important to say that because you're dealing with the truth.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of the excuse, unfortunately, is an arrogant local situation. It's a local arrogance of New York district, a New York district that's going to say they wasn't the FOI or whatever wasn't giving the wisdom to the babies. That's pure BS. That's a pure arrogant lie, pure poisonous hypocrisy, worse envious type poison lie coming from our people. you know, and since, you know, it's like LA is the home of Hollywood. So if you got a poisonous enough person that's right there next to Hollywood and that's next to some cameras or radio stations or a microphone or something, they can do a whole lot of damage with their individual poison, right? And make it look like it's nationwide and actually cause it to go nationwide, like a Satan. A devil is somebody whose weakness or wickedness is only confined to themselves, but a Satan is one who seeks to spread the poison or spread the weakness or the wickedness. But this whole thing, you hear a lot of, you know, pride in New York. This is New York, or this New York, this Harlem, or this the Bronx. Like, that's not okay. That's one little borough. That's one little hole in the wall compared to the 17 million at that time, or the 40 million or the 50 million. Okay, but if you right there next to the media centers and media capitals of the world, which is New York at that time, that's where hip hop and all that, you know, was able to, you know, the dragon was able to use his propaganda flood, his propaganda, you know, frog in the tongue or whatever to spew whatever he was going to spew. He was at the right place at the right time to be able to get that off. That don't mean though that the FOI wasn't all over the United States. You know, talking about they wasn't in the streets. All the FOI came from the streets. We was the ones gang banging. We was the ones pimping and hoeing. We was the ones stick up, you know, right? You know what I'm saying? We was the ones on drugs and selling female. What are you talking about? It wasn't in the streets. We was the streets. You know what I'm saying? We are the streets. What are you talking about? This ain't no Jehovah Witnesses. No disrespect to the Jehovah Witnesses or the church. No, we was the riders. We the sliders. So that's all BS lies talking about they wasn't in the street. They wasn't giving them to the babies. That's pure BS.
Yeah. Because you know what, they 100% the people, you know, people my age again that were around and in New York and, you know, living and, you know, in these poverty-stricken areas. Yeah, the FOI was there. The Nation of Islam was there. There were brothers there. They used to make jokes about, oh, the brother got selling carrot cake. And come on. Oh, the brother with the Muhammad Speaks. And there were a bunch of kids that was selling the carrot cake, the bean pots, and talking about, you got the Muhammad Speaks in your hand. Hey, brother, do you want a Muhammad Speaks? Let me tell you about the Nation of Islam. These were kids saying that, but then the elders would speak, right? The heads would speak. I'm not 15 years old, 16-year-old speaking on this. I'm selling the paper and doing that. And my brothers were too, but they were definitely with us out there. I'm not just speaking about this because, you know, I'm trying to give myself a pat on the back. There was a bunch of thousands of us, you know, that were doing it before and after me. That were doing it. So they definitely had access. However, if you want to be part of an organization that allows you to do whatever you want, right? But then you can still say, I'm a 5%er. Then as a child, you're going to go with that. That to me is similar to being, kind of similar to being a Christian, right? If you're a Christian that you believe, someone say, okay, what does a Christian have to do? All you have to do is believe in, you know, Jesus is your Lord and Savior. Then you can do anything Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, go to church on Sunday, and then go out and slaughter people, you know, the same day, the same night.
Yeah.
There's no accountability. There's nothing that you have to do.
Right.
You just have to believe something. And that would be similar to giving children these lessons and no guidance with it.
Absolutely. And it's a case of giving somebody what they want, letting them do what they want to do versus what they need to do, what they must do. And the lessons, if we talk about the lessons, the real lessons by Master Fard Muhammad is the living example. The living example is the lessons. Having a book without a man, without, you know, a man that represents the book, that represents the lessons, you can take a book and just act, you can take a paper like they did and just stay in 1934 and act like, well, I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Because the man, the actual man, the living example of the lessons has been teaching in your face ever since then for 40 whole years, but you want to ignore him. You want to ignore the living lessons. You want to ignore the living Holy Quran, the living apostle, you know what I'm saying? The living messenger of the living God who wrote the lessons on the piece of paper. You want to worship the piece of paper. You want to follow the piece of paper.
You know what? I'm glad I'm in conversation with you. I never thought of it like that. All these years, I never thought of it exactly how you just described. And I have this conversation with my brother at least once a week. I never thought about it like that. Wow. And that's right. You rather have this piece of paper that you worship, and then when you go against it, that piece of paper can't talk back to you.
No, it can't punish you. It say that what did it say? What's the punishment or what must be done? That paper ain't finna do nothing. Paper ain't finna stress you out. Paper ain't gonna put no demands on you. Paper ain't gonna discipline you. You know what I'm saying? No, it says you must be punished by the nation of Islam, not the 120 pieces of paper. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to, the 120 lessons on a piece of paper ain't gonna do nothing to you.
Exactly. I heard a brother, I'm sure he is from the West Coast, Glasses Malone.
Yeah, that's my young bro. Salute Glasses, yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something, bro. I heard this brother talking, and I was listening to him on the program, and he said two things. One, on the program, he said the only organization that he was aware of, the only organization he knew that cleaned black men up, that could take a black man that was a 4 and bring him to a 10, would be the Nation of Islam. And he was comparing that to like street urban culture, was he was saying if you're involved in street urban culture, that those brothers will assist you, but they would take you in whatever direction you want to go. If you want to be a great gangbanger, they're going to help show you how to do that. If you want to be a criminal, they're going to show you how to do that. But if you also wanted assistance with, going to school or starting a record label, them brothers will help you do that as well. And I was like, wow, I'm sitting there listening to him. And then the second thing that he said was, he said that with street urban culture, that it holds you accountable. So I just wanted to, share that with you. Oh, no, he said this. He couldn't be on social media just saying anything in order to get views because he believes in accountability. And when I was having a conversation with my brother from Brooklyn about that, I said, there's a lot of brothers from the East Coast that have social media platforms that they don't, it's content over everything.
Yeah, that's my young bro, G Malone. Salute. I had a conversation with him because I saw that little clip, that interview, and I told him, I was like, who was homeboy? Because I don't know who to do with the braids that was interviewing him when he said that. And as soon as he said that, the first thing out of old boy mouth was, it's some foul niggas come out the nation. And I was like, what? It's some foul niggas come out there. So I told Glasses, like, get homeboy, like, get him, see if he can get on the live or I can get on his live, because I want to do a whole, episode on that. Why did you say that? Give me an example. What foul niggas came out the nation? Give me, what do you mean by that? Why niggas are so quick to let that type of stuff fly out their mouth, but don't validate it, don't prove it? Like, why would you just throw that evil suggestion? Like, no, name names. Nigga, don't just say that. Name some names. What foul niggas came out the nation? You was foul if you left the nation, maybe. But what foul niggas did the nation produce? You making it seem like the nation produces foul niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I still, whoever the bro is, I still want you to get on live. I want to get on your show, and I want to have that conversation about that comment that you felt the need you just needed to say.
And I also think when I've listened to Glasses Malone, there's a couple other brothers from the West Coast that, because they believe in accountability, they're going to be careful with their words.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about, hey, let me choose what I want to say and think about what I want to say. And I think it was Glasses Malone that had said at one time that when he responds to something, he takes a moment to give it, to run it through his mind before just responding. And I think with that brother, let's say any brother, right, that doesn't have that discipline and they're involved in social media, they're thinking about, oh, let me just say something they're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about accountability and truthfulness.
Yeah, it's like Clarence. I mean, what's his name? What's the dude name? Charleston White. Like Charleston White. You know you're gonna get some views if you got enough craziness to talk bad or slander against a good man or a good nation or a brotherhood or a righteous army, because we got to exercise wisdom and discipline. We know you fed bait. Ain't nobody finna bite at that fed bait. It's cameras and microphones everywhere. All y'all extra tough little dudes talking all this tough stuff because that we ain't gonna trick ourselves off the streets for you. But there's a God that'll deal with it, and we'll sit back with our popcorn and say, hey, you felt tough enough or whatever. You wanted some views or some clicks, or you wanted some monetization or whatever you said that for, that you was willing to throw righteous men and righteous struggle and sacrifice and people that had been martyred for 90 years for you, that you as soon as you get the opportunity, you want to just say some foul stuff about them because you can. Like, all right, we like elephants. We don't forget, but I can talk too. Like, I got a microphone. I got a little influence out here. So we need to have that kind of conversation. So I'm not wild. I'm not going to be pulling out no tools or wanting to fight. Like, if that's what you want, like, oh, okay, well, you a loser. You know what I'm saying? You can't see this nation in no kind of way. You can't see me as an individual in no kind of way if I'm with God. There's nothing that you can do to be superior or more attractive unless you just like flies on boo-boo. Boo-boo attracts maggots and flies. So if it's a lot of, a big audience and views of, around boo-boo, then y'all all need to be over there. And that's what God, he sets boo-boo traps. He puts maggot traps, just to attract all of those in one spot so he can do whatever he's going to do with them. But I'm a definitely address it. And that's what, God blessed me with this little platform for.
No, absolutely. And I think that, when brothers have views like that and they don't they don't have it challenged, right? They don't have it challenged, and they can stay in that pocket because it's in a vacuum, right? They're not allowing it to be aired out. So someone can challenge them on it, right? Respectfully, and say, okay, let's have a conversation about it. Because when you should be open to being held accountable for your words, right? Or sharing them with someone that may disagree with you, and come to some sort of even if you disagree, people get an opportunity to hear both sides of it. And sometimes it's not both sides, right? When that brother said what he said about the nation, and then the brother comes and said, well, there's some foul people that blah, blah, blah. Well, sometimes it ain't both sides. Sometimes someone is just wrong.
Yeah. And this is the beauty of social media and beauty of people like yourself and myself, that as soon as I hear it, I'm on it. As soon as I hear it, I'm on it. You ain't got to worry about me cussing you out. You ain't got to worry about me mocking the death of your homies or death of your loved ones or nothing like that. No, we just going to talk like mature adults and hold each other accountable for what we let fly out our mouth. The influence that we put, knowingly or unknowingly, that you dropped a seed of, evil or suspicion or whatever on people regarding the nation. Like, why would you say that? So since you said that, I, as a 35-year veteran member of the Nation of Islam, registered, semi-high profile soldier from these streets or whatever, I need you to call out names. I need you to tell me exactly the foul members of the FOI that you talking about, or the NOI that you talking about. Since you say some foul niggas coming out the nation, what does that mean? I need their names. I need some examples. You can't just say no shit like that. Stuff like that publicly, and I hear it. Nah, we need names. You got to be corrupt young Gotti. You better call out some names.
Yep, and again, I'm gonna go back to the brother Glasses Malone, because I heard him in another conversation, and I thought to myself, it was him and it was someone else that they had mentors around them, and they reached the right principled decision. And I thought to myself, and in conversation, I was saying, this is what happens when you have men around you that care about you and that have knowledge. They're going to steer you in the right direction. Or when you speak, like the brother Glasses Malone, he was having a conversation with, I'll just say AK. And he was schooling this brother on hip hop, on principles, on morality, and he did it respectfully, but he was so knowledgeable. I had to salute I'm gonna say young man. I don't know how old he is, but I had to salute this young man. I was like, this is what social media and what platforms should be about. If you're principled, and another brother that did the same. He had some mentors around him, and he was kind of supporting AK or giving him an excuse. And his older, let's say OGs around him said, man, what would you do if somebody said that to my son? And immediately the brother, he turned course. He was like, oh no, you right. You right. But they helped him get to that right decision. I'm just going to leave it at that, man.
Nah, that's it, man. That's it. We coming up on 3 hours. I knew this was gonna be kind of long, so let me hit this my mute. But yeah, true story. As always, you definitely dropping some true stories, some true prophecies, some true history, some true current, present tense jewels for us. And I definitely love you and respect you, man, for that. And I needed this energy because I didn't want to just be on some, whatever rah type stuff. So I needed your wise, calm energy to kind of land my, bring me back down to whatever I should be on. So I'm gonna let my bro Madan, don't go nowhere. Just let me let my bro Madan speak a little something. You still there, Madan? You went to sleep.
What up, Ken? No, I'm still here, man. No, I've been in it. I just went to the other room. But nah, man, it's been a definitely a good conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? So just hearing different perspectives about what's going on and what actually transpired. But I think it's about that time that we put the real truth on the table. You know what I mean? Because if we look at it, it seems to me from what I've gotten over the course of this conversation is that the man pretty much took the information and made it his own and put it to another perspective when it comes to the 5%. I could be wrong, but that's what I got from it. But so and I think when it comes to Lord Jamar, I think his eyes got bigger than his stomach, like the old folks used to say, and he thought the flat earth was the best thing running water, you know what I'm saying, and got him going against the lessons out of nowhere. So I think like you said, the brother is in a rebellious state.
Yeah, I mean, I think he should be in a rebellious state from that. You know what I'm saying? That's really a natural result of, standing on the wrong information, because it's going to produce a dissatisfaction that's going to grow and grow. And that dissatisfaction is going to bring about a change. And that change is going to be in a form of rebellion against that. So unfortunately, he was fed rebellion from whoever, because that's same with my parents. Like, my parents was mentally dead. May Allah be pleased with both of them, but Allah was able to bring forth the living from the dead. My parents didn't choose the NOI. They chose the Marine Corps, the LAPD, the Christianity in the streets, 304 and all that. They chose everything but the NOI. But Allah had mercy, and he found me despite their choices. So I'm not trying to throw away Lord Jamar. I'm not trying to throw away no member of the 5% nation, guys on earth, or nothing like that. I just want them to realize, once you see what it is and what it ain't, make that natural progression. This is your nation. This is your nation. But the thing that you got you this far is not worthless. because it got you this far. But, you know, are you going to keep, you know, are you going to grab the authentic when it's time, or are you going to keep with the non-authentic? But you got the last word, true story.
Brother. What I want to say, I watch even, you know, I watch your program regularly, and I respect what you're doing, and it's necessary, it's enlightening, it's entertaining at the same time, and you're always respectful. You're saying exactly what I have said, and I love my brother, right? No, he knows I love him because we talk about this all the time. Is that I can understand if you were 15, let's say 20, right? 22. You get this lesson this way, okay. But now we are 40, 50 years old. You now is the time to when you're saying this lesson, the next thing I gotta hear you say is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I have to hear you say that. If you're not saying that, then I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no respect for it. I can't respect it. If you're not saying Honorable Elijah, and I get kind of worked up about this, right? I know that you know now. There's no excuse. You know exactly where those lessons came from. And if you want to be held accountable, if you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be in unison with your brothers, guess what? Go ahead and go ahead and go to the mosque, right? And join with the Nation of Islam. If you're following this piece of paper, boy, there's so much more that you can get by being in unison with the person that created this.
Man. Well, man, on that note, man, I'm gonna see if B Naquan Black Man, if you got the spirit of God enough to hop on the live with me, because if you don't, I can't respect types and novels and text messages when I'm live. If you a God, I need for you to get on the live with me like a God, fearless, right? Because you say, peace, brother, you need to stop that cam. You need to stop that cam. So since you're telling me what I need to do, I'm going to tell you what you need to do. You need to hop on this live with me right now or get blocked. Right? That's what we do over here. I don't want to rob you of the entertainment of the other shows that's on this platform. But if you, on this subject, you hopping on here telling me what I need to do, then I'm going to tell you what you need to do. You need to hop on here and prove to me why I need to stop. If you don't hop on here with me in the next 3 minutes, then you blocked. And it's not because I'm just trying to block you. I'm telling you, I want the world to see you. It's 200 people on here. I want you to teach. I want you to show and prove. Stop typing. I see a whole nother typing, a whole nother big conversation with, paragraph with capital letters. I can't look. That makes my head hurt. If you a man, if you are adult, especially a God, you need to get on here and build. Speak, like the God speak. But you say you need to stop. We never said we are the author of the Supreme Wisdom lessons, the Supreme Wisdom we call 120 lessons. So I don't where you're getting that from, my brother. We know where they come from. And then you said this examination between teacher and student, but we are the author of keeping the Supreme Wisdom alive. And you got 2 minutes. That I just spent 60 seconds, one of your minutes reading that. You got 2 more minutes left. Show up a hoe up, show up a 304 up. If you don't show up like a man, like a God, you type one more time, then I'm just going to block you. Right? Stop typing. Get on here like a God. Show your face like me and this guy right here is doing, and like the guys that got on here. You don't have to agree with me, but you need to agree that you need to show and prove like a guy. Show yourself. If you can't show nothing else, show yourself. I can't hide. I be showing my little daughters, my family, my wife. This ain't violence or physical. Like, this is the respect. This is what God's supposed to do. You on social media. You want these people. You're not in my DM. You're on a public chat. You want people to see what you type. Now, so I want them to see everything. And if you don't, then that's just weak. That's just another weak, false, weak example of so-called, I don't know if you claiming to be 5%er, that's weak. Stop making the 5%ers look weak. True story. Was you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would believe that he is either a 5%er or very familiar with the 5% nation, because that is exactly their argument, brother. That's the argument that they will say. They'll say Clarence 13X gave the lessons to children, and that the wisdom of those lessons were kept alive because of Clarence 13X at a time when Wallace D. Muhammad, when after Elijah, they'll say Elijah had passed or Elijah was gone, Wallace D. Muhammad came in and he turned the organization into Balalians. And the only person, the person that's responsible for keeping the knowledge alive was Clarence 13X and these young kids in the nation, in the 5% nation. That's their argument. And that's exactly what you just said must be what he's typing in there.
Yeah, that's such a bold-faced, preposterous lie. You know what I'm saying? That's the arrogance of acting like the little small borough, New York City or Harlem, represents the whole nation. That represents the whole 50 states. The 3,000 by 2,000 miles that the lion was in a cage going back and forth with 17 million keys. They was only in New York. Huh? They was only in New York amongst the youth right there in the 70s. That y'all the only ones kept it alive, right? Okay. That's terrible, because that proves clearly that you never been in the mosque, you never been in the nation, you don't know what happened in the nation, you definitely don't know have a history of Farrakhan or Minister Jabril Muhammad, or even John Muhammad or Silas or anybody that that, and nobody kept nothing alive. That's part of the death. That's not the live living holy teachings of Elijah Muhammad. No, that's part of the death of the teachings. You know what I'm saying? It died in a certain way under Elijah Muhammad's son, and it died in another way under Clarence 13X. That he didn't keep the teachings the way the messenger had them. So don't say they kept nothing alive. That's not the messenger's teachings. But since you didn't hop on the
Yeah, and brother, I'm gonna tell you that, and I know you got to go, but that to me is why a person that is as knowledgeable as you, it's a blessing for them to have this address, for them to hear what you're saying, because when they're saying it, they 100% believe it because it goes unchallenged. Clarence 13X, and imagine if the lives that the minister, that honorable messenger Elijah Muhammad has changed, the organization he left behind, and you know what his mission was and mission is, and him accomplishing that and continuing to accomplish it, and then someone else takes credit for it. Not only takes credit for it, but says the nerve to have the audacity to say, well, it would have died without Clarence 13X and these little kids, these 15, 16, 17-year-old kids getting in these lessons and eating pork grinds and getting beaten up in order to adhere to the lessons, right? And then just running, I'm gonna be dead, just running amok, and got what do you call it, like a name that makes them feel like they know everything. When you say someone's name is Allah, Allah born, almighty magnetic Allah, what? And y'all kept the honorable Elijah, the messenger, and the nations of Islam's message, y'all kept it alive. And we should applaud y'all. Nah, it don't matter whether it's my uncle in it, my brother, it doesn't matter. That is not the truth. And
That's
I
a
can love you.
bold-faced lie.
It's a bold-faced lie, brother. And they should, hey, come on. And if you believe that, don't type it up. Go ahead and do what the lessons say you should do. Go ahead and manifest that truth that if you believe it to be true, go ahead and manifest it.
Man, because you hear with two authentic ones, So if the Honorable Elijah Muhammad departed in 1975 and Minister Farrakhan woke back up in 1977, right? That's 2 years. If y'all kept the lessons alive or kept the teachings alive, why didn't you rebuild the nation like Farrakhan did? If you kept it so alive, why didn't you rebuild the nation? Because you was never in the nation. You don't even know what the structure was. You didn't even know what the Constitution is. You don't even know what the laws and the disciplines are. You don't even know what the goal is of the Nation of Islam. You was never part of the success. You was never part of the Nation of Islam. So how could you keep it alive if you never knew what it was? You never was participating in it. But go ahead, true story. We're gonna be here all night if I
Yes, I'm gonna let you go, but hopefully maybe on a if you want to discuss this on a future program, is that you couldn't have someone, let's say, Lord Jamar is a recognizable name. And if Lord Jamar, if it was someone within the nation with this recognizable of a name, saying, hey, I'm part of the Nation of Islam, and saying things that are contrary to the nation, and conducting themselves in a way that was contrary to the nation, there's an organization in place that will, I'm gonna say, assist them, right? Like, hey, brother, let us assist you because you're saying things that if you really want to be part of this organization and you have love for what this organization is about, that you don't want to be out here doing these things. Lord Jamar is able to do it because there's where's the structure? And then my second thing would be I'm learning more about from Kieran Glasses Malone and another brother on some other platform. He's talking about street urban culture and how the gang structure also was a way to build men up. It gave them, let's say, accountability. I'm not going to say anything I don't mean. If I do say something, I'm going to be held accountable. And I just like to, I really want to learn more about that. And did that help you when you came into the nation because you may have already been involved in some structure that we didn't have, let's say, in New York. We had gang, but not in a lot of areas. It wasn't, there weren't like street urban culture in that way. It wasn't structured the way that I believe it is on the West Coast.
Yeah, the structure, this is a fact. If anybody cares to do this kind of research, all black gangs, whether it's the GDs, BDs, Vice Lords, Black Panthers, Bloods, Crips, all of them they all stand on the shoulders of the structure of the Nation of Islam. Any honorable manhood code came from the Nation of Islam. Black Panthers, everything was a spinoff once, it looked, of course, like Malcolm once, those that got deceived and got in their feelings and broke off when Malcolm broke off and believed that part of the game. And then when in 1975, when it looked like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was dead, and then the rest of them that went off, on that, spinoffs like the Black Panthers and different stuff like that, when people just wild, they back on drugs, they doing LSD and sherm and acid and free love and afros and leather jackets and rifles, and what I'm saying, they was just, we was super lost. That was the darkest period in our history. That's the dark ages for us. But all of the structure, all of the best structure was 1,000% based on the Nation of Islam. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of, we didn't know that. I didn't know it until I got in the nation and be like, oh, so this is where, the blood and the Crip Constitution come from, and the laws and the bylaws and the, and the codes and the ethics and like, oh, some of it is involve, crime and dirt, and like if you doing something, you out there trying to survive, you ain't supposed to tell on your crimey or nothing like that. But that don't, that's the other side of the coin. But as far as all of the manhood, honorable, moral character, the integrity and all that, the manhood part of it, 1000% Nation of Islam teaching. I just didn't know it, and we don't know it. But that's why so many of us, once we locked up or once we, finally get in the nation, it's so much of a savior. It's like we feel like it saved us. We knew that we was warriors. We knew we was sliders or hitters or whatever we was doing, and we knew it was wartime. We just didn't know who we were supposed to be warring against. We didn't know who we were supposed to be doing this discipline and this structure for or against. So yeah, so you probably was born in it and you saw it way clearer than we saw it, and was just waiting for, I wish niggas would hurry up and wake up and see that this is for them. But we had to go through it the way we had to go through it. But yeah, it's all based on the NOI.
Wow. See, I didn't, honestly, I didn't know that until I feel like recently, because of, let's say Kendrick and DJ Head, like, not necessarily because of them, but platforms, the West Coast platforms that are discussing these things. I feel like people are more, let me say, like my son, myself, and others are being more immersed in West Coast culture and learning more about it, even more than when it was Dr. Dre and Snoop and them, right? Maybe because it's social media that there's more conversations around, like what I never heard what you just said, but Glasses Malone talking about the structure and learning like accountability. But I think that's why, and I'm making short, that's why it's important people to hear what you just said about the messenger Elijah Muhammad, not because to how can I say, not to flatter him, but because when they understand his importance, then they'll be more willing to, they'll gravitate towards these lessons that will help their lives, not to flatter him. But when you take credit that doesn't, when you can take credit that don't belong to you, and you don't attribute it to the man that is responsible for it, guess what? You're hurting other people. You're bringing people into a false sense of, oh, I started this over here and it got nothing to do with the brother. And I'm gonna let you go right now, man, because I would go on and on and on about talking about it, because I really think that it is important that people know who this man is, because it's going to help their lives.
Absolutely. And you right. Like I said, the Black Panthers was a spinoff of the NOI, was the spinoff of the FOI. Malcolm got frustrated and he wanted to pick up the gun and retaliate against the police that was brutalizing and killing us. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad knew that would be suicide, and he didn't want to do that. So that was already brewing. That was already part of the dissatisfaction and the faithlessness, or the weak faith, or the cracking faith of Malcolm at that time, because, he didn't understand the wisdom or whatnot. But that transferred, so the Black Panthers on the West Coast, especially Oakland and San Francisco and LA and all of that, Black Panthers is a spinoff of the Nation of Islam and Malcolm, people that want that structure, the same structure, what we believe and what we want and what we believe. All of Panther, that was the same thing, the whole program, Do for Self and Feed the Children and breakfast program and all of that. That's all 1000% the Nation of Islam, but they wanted to do the self-defense thing. That's why Khaled even went that direction. Khaled turned out to be the, one of the leaders of the new Black Panther Party, because they could do that. Like, what I'm saying? And they can talk crazy without no Islamic spirit and wisdom of keeping things in the spirit of peace and wisdom or whatever. But behind the wall, when it comes to, the Black Panthers, the Bloods and the Crips are spinoffs of the Black Panthers. So the Panthers is offspring of the NOI or the FOI, and the Bloods and the Crips is offspring of the Panthers. That's when they, had the leather jackets and the cribs and all of that on the West Coast, if you know the history of that. But then once it gets behind the walls and the jails, the military discipline, structure, and unity and soldier, togetherness and fearlessness of the FOI behind the walls, which was first established in the early 40s, when so many of the FOIs was going to jail and going to prison with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's where the Mexicans, once they started, squadding up and putting a structure together, they discipline, their military structure, all of that was inspired by the FOI and the Aryan nation, the white, the whites, the Woods or whatever. Because in 1950s, we sat down and came to an understanding and agreement with the American Nazi Party. The NOI, the FOI, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X in 1958, 1959, something like that. That's when General Lincoln Rockwell, the founder of the American Nazi Party, came to Savior's Day convention and was giving donations and all that. I got that up on my page. So they respected the structure, the military structure. That's why the NOI, the FOI is respected everywhere, in every prison, every street, every community, every race, because they know we discipline soldiers. Discipline. That's the key word. Discipline. We're not wild and we just gonna run off and start a war or kick off a feud or nothing like that. No, it's chain of command, military line structure, discipline, soldiers, warriors, an army. So all of it comes from the NOI. All of it comes from the military training of the FOI as established by Master Fard Muhammad and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, point blank, for black people of North America.
Hey, brother, listen, I like I said, I appreciate. I'm taking my notes right now. You can see I'm taking my notes right now, so I can. I'm gonna go to your website and be looking these things up. Brother. But I think, man, you're doing a great job of getting this word out here. And again, all I can say is, man, I salute you, and I think that it's important. It's important that people get this, because otherwise they're gonna be believing, brothers that might hear that and say, hey, man, yeah, it was Clarence 13X and these kids that kept the word of Elijah Muhammad alive. What? What? Nah,
Right.
it was not that. No, it never was that.
Even if it was, it might have been that right there on 125th Street from this half mile, this 2 mile block radius. That might be true in a 2 or 3 mile radius somewhere in New York. That had nothing to do with the rest of the United States, where the nation was present at and active all throughout the United States. So I'm not trying to take nothing away from whatever was going on in the borough of New York at that time. If that's what preserved the lessons, I'm not from New York, so that didn't reach me. That don't affect me and none of these other states whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But if that happened, if that was the case for that place in New York, okay, cool. I'll give you that. But I still want to see the receipts for that, because I know that's where Malcolm was at, and that's where Minister Farrakhan replaced Malcolm. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad sent him to take Malcolm's place, and sent him. He said that's one of the most worst cities in the nation, full of hypocrites, full of the worst type of rebellious people is New York City. So that's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. He was talking about our people. He wasn't talking about the devils. He was talking about our people.
And getting knowledge of, let's put it in this way, obtaining knowledge of self is important, right? But without structure and without reinforcement and without accountability, it goes nowhere. Like it'll be a little bit of sustainability. I'm gonna give them credit for that, right? Like, and say, okay, but let's qualify what you're saying and say, oh yeah, we got this knowledge, these lessons. And for those that did adhere to it, I salute you. But the ones that I know that did adhere to it, these were kids in the Nation of Islam that then became members of the 5% nation. During that time, there was some, whatever. I get that. But now to say it when you're 25, when you're 35, when you're 45, just like you just got it, and just say, wait a minute, well, maybe you guys did it for a couple of years in New York. What about the rest of the country? Nah. Nah. And let's not overdo, and again, no disrespect to the 5% Navy Guard, but we're not going to put Clarence 13X. Nah, we can, if you want to have respect for him, go ahead and do that. But first thing out of your mouth, it's got to be Elijah Muhammad, not to flatter him, but because that's the gateway to you you respecting the organization that he has built. And I'm gonna leave it at that, brother.
Well, man, like I said, love you, bro. Big Madon Komet. I'll leave y'all with this. I'm a butcher it a little bit. I'm paraphrasing the Bible verse because we coming up in 2 days on. Let me put this on here. Everybody tune in to NOI.org, February 23rd, 2 p.m. Minister Farrakhan will address the world, by way of, at least right now, tentatively, by way of student national assistant, Minister Ishmael Muhammad. The subject is repent, not rejoice. Repent. For the kingdom of God is at hand. Right. And the Bible, if y'all into the Bible, it say, if my people who are called, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face, right? That means the God wants you to know his face today. Right. So we having this conversation because some people saying that the Father is Clarence 13X. Y'all saying that that's the face that we supposed to be seeking. No, the real God that we must repent for and turn from our wicked ways, our weak vices, and our weak, plagiarism ways, or our weak whatever ways. We're supposed to seek his face, the Father, Elijah Muhammad. He is the Father, right? And then will he hear from heaven and, would it say heal our land or something like that? But if you are already praying to yourself as God, or you already, what's wrong with actually testing that out? If we experiment on high explosion, we don't fear nothing. Why you fear acknowledging Elijah Muhammad like that? You scared to acknowledge the actual Father, the actual author? You scared to think that he actually might be the real God that's alive on this big wheel? Do you not believe that part of the teachings and the lessons? Do you not believe that the Savior, our Savior, before his departure was back to the wheel that he taught his messenger about? Are you too scared to communicate with him or to honor him like you honor Clarence 13X? Or do you like the idea of honoring a dead person because a dead person can't hold no demands or no laws on your life? So we turn our faces towards his face, the face of God. Elijah Muhammad. If you say, I got a problem with Master Prophet Muhammad, he was our uncle, he was our nephew. Okay, well, Elijah Muhammad ain't. Elijah Muhammad is that full black man that you're supposed to be acknowledging as Allah, God, above Clarence 13X. And he's not dead. We're saying he's not dead. So you don't have no excuse. Why be scared to test that high explosion? You ain't scared of no type of experimentation, are you? You scared of the discipline? You scared of the Muslim submission experiment? You don't want to do that experiment, huh? You want to do the God, I'm God no matter what. I ain't got to listen to nobody experiment. You want to keep doing that experiment? All right. You've been warned. So I'm asking you to get your blood off my hands. And this is the campaign show. And my brother, my big brother, God brother, true story, blessed us with jewels on top of jewels. And of course, my correspondent, my YouTube correspondent on these YouTube streets, Madon Komet. On behalf of them, on behalf of, y'all watching, we love y'all, man. This is not no diss. We don't want no beef. We don't want no problem. But if you want it, we want it. If you want it, we want it. If you start it, we'll finish it. So we can take it as far as, whoever want to take it, in the name of Allah, our God, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad and Mahdi Elijah Muhammad and Messiah, soon to be Christ Farrakhan Muhammad. Take it how you want to take it. On that note, salute.
Salute, my brother.
Salute. Peace.
Peace, brother.